Yeah, are we live?
Live on YouTube.
All right. Hey, my microphone's loose.
All right.
You want to give an intro or should we hit the button?
Hit the button.
And we are live
We're live, guys, on multiple revenues.
on everything. We've
Yeah.
got so many cameras in here and people behind the scenes, and
Yeah, we got people in the
this
room.
is a unique experience for us.
I'm sweating.
Unique New York. Do you want to get into anything before we get into this? I mean, do we want to give it a few minutes so that people can get into the live?
I say we wait a couple of minutes. People
Okay.
who are on TikTok, go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the full effect because we will be ending these lives in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. And that live is to be better on YouTube.
To be better on YouTube. The number 2, be better.
We had a pretty interesting day today.
Yeah.
AJ came down. We have AJ behind the scenes.
Hi, everyone.
For those on YouTube or TikTok or whatever that was. I don't know. There's too much going on.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Where are we at in terms of watchers right now?
I have
3.
1.2 thousand people on my TikTok right now.
Do you need to tell them to go to YouTube?
Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, guys. We will be ending these lives in about 20 minutes, and you do not want to miss the information I'm about to give you to help your relationship.
So for everybody that caught the intro to the love languages, we had you guys write down what you believe your partner's love language is and what you believe yours is. And like we did the top 3 love languages. I'm curious how many of you actually did that. Drop it in the chat and let us know. And then if you have, I'm curious to know how accurate you think you are with this. Because we had a lot of people in our Discord actually go and take the test.
Oh, yeah, and they were absolutely surprised.
Right. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was fucking super surprised.
You mean by like yours?
Yes.
Or?
I figured my top would be physical touch
Wow.
because I feel distant if we're on the couch and your butt or your foot is not touching me.
Right.
So, and like if we when we bought our couches, we made it a point not to buy a couch with a divider because I feel like that is an intimacy killer.
Yeah.
If there's a cup holder between me and you and my cup is there or my remote is there and my
Your phone
little
charging.
buddy is sitting there and you're on the other side of that, there's 2 feet of space where you can't touch me.
Unacceptable.
It is unacceptable. But to find out that mine was quality time as my primary kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I thought mine would be words of affirmation.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. So you want to do a little intro blurb? Do you want to just sit here and stare at each other for a little while? We could do that too.
So, no, we can just get into it if you want to.
Okay.
So, second one is quality time. And quality time is the actions that makes one feel loved / emotionally cared for more than likely will not make the SO feel the same. Did you catch that?
I did not because I was sidetracked trying to get the microphone on the TikTok closer to your face.
So the actions that makes one person feel loved or emotionally cared for more than likely will not make the SO feel the same.
Okay.
So somebody in one of the emails we read previously said, I go above and beyond and I feel like it's never reciprocated.
Because they're expecting their partner to
Do the same things
Right.
that they're doing. So if they're doing an act of service, they're expecting their partner to return with another act of service.
Right. How many people do you think actually have the same receive love language as the give love language? Because I show love differently than I take it.
Right.
And I do take it. No, I'm just kidding.
I would be very surprised if like 3 out of 10 had the same.
Yeah.
I find that it would be a very rare thing. You and I have quality time as our number 1, but we still express love differently towards each other.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah. Wild. So when somebody says I go above and beyond and it's never reciprocated, I bet that's heard often in tumultuous relationships.
Ooh, good word.
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous. Say it again.
Tumultuous.
I can't say it. I'm not going to try.
I can say that, but I can't say beneficial.
You did say it. Beneficial.
Shut up. It was beneficial.
Yeah. Somebody wrote it benefish bowl though,
And I can
it
say
stuck.
tumultuous.
You can, and I can't.
Disgusting.
Right?
What?
So before we get into this, I feel like I need to do all the little YouTube bullshit stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if I can cuss yet because AJ's got everything behind the screen. I don't know how long we've been live.
We are not there yet.
Not there yet. Okay. So for those of you who are new to what we're doing, we have a Patreon channel that is got a Discord community attached to it and a whole lot of things. He can put that in the chat for you guys to check out later. We are doing super chats after we do the love languages unless they're $50 and higher. So if you've sent a $50 super chat, we will wait until one of us is done with our point, then interject and read the super chat and then go on to our life. And with that being said, we've already gotten a super chat that's over $50.
Shut up.
And it's from,
from Zeke?
It's not. It's from Kaylee. I don't think it's our normal Kaylee, but it's Kaylee DeMarzio. And she says, your page has helped me open my eyes on how I want my next relationship to go. Keep doing what you guys are doing. You are blessing people daily with what you do. Guess how much she sent us?
I have to guess how much she sent us. More than 50.
It was
I'm going to say 100.
100.
100.
100. Love that.
I want someone to just send 350. That would make me happy.
Yeah.
Loch Ness Monster. Get out of here. It really doesn't take much to make me happy.
Obviously. You fucking married me.
Did you just put yourself down?
You were smiling when I did it.
And then I registered what you just said. That's unacceptable. Take it back.
Nope. Not unless somebody gives us another good super chat. I'm not retracting that shit until I see another red box.
I'm not going to do that thing you like.
Yes, you will.
No, I won't.
Want to bet?
I'll be bratty about it and make it hard for you. All right. So quality time means undivided attention. So long drives in the car.
I love that.
Laying in bed with the phones on the nightstand. And going out to eat and leaving your phone in the car.
I can't remember the last time I did that.
Never.
I don't think I have because
No.
I'm so attached to the businesses and being afraid of missing something important.
And I bet that goes for a lot of people. I mean, minus the business aspect, but everybody always has their phone on them.
Yeah.
Every time we go out to eat, I look around the restaurant and I would say half of the couples sitting there are on their phones.
Yeah.
Or one sitting there on the phone and the other one's just kind of looking around.
I try not to pull my phone out
Yeah.
when we're out to eat. I can see what's important coming through on my watch, so I know if I need to actually grab my phone. But I actually try not to touch the phone too much. They have you ever seen anybody sit down and everybody puts their phones upside down on the table and the first person to pick their phone up pays the bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I was not going to interject, but we just got some tree fitties.
Oh,
Yep.
350.
Yep.
That makes me happy. Thank you guys. It really doesn't take much.
Yeah. What else falls into that quality time category?
Quality time. I would say sitting on the couch together, even if it's not undivided attention, quality time for me is my feet on your lap and we're watching something and we're engaged in the TV show. We're not on the phones and we're having conversation about what's happening. Or we watch a new movie that I haven't seen and you're absolutely flabbergasted that I haven't. And I ask you all these stupid questions get answered in 5 seconds.
Yeah, every time. Every time
Yeah.
you're like, well, what about this? And you're like, if I would just shut up and watch it, I would have. Why am I like this? Every
Yeah,
time.
Every time. That's quality time for me. It's probably annoying for you, but I enjoy myself.
It's entertaining because I know what's about to happen in the movie and you do that shit. I'm like, why don't you just watch? And then it happens. You're like, oh, there you go.
It's almost like, I don't know. I feel like I just perceive things differently than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me patting myself on the back. Don't take that from me.
I'm not.
You want to move on to the next point?
I want to talk about the driving, the
Okay.
driving thing. The quality time in the car is, I think, the easiest way to get quality time with your significant other, because when you're driving and you have the only distraction is the person driving the car having to pay attention to traffic.
Right.
But when you've been driving for more than 5 years, is your autopilot anyways. So like the phones aren't there, the radio is not on. The conversations that you and I have in the car are different than the conversations that we have at home.
Right.
And we just got a new patron.
We did.
And because of that, I feel like we can also have more in-depth conversations. And because we're in an enclosed, confined space, it's just an intimate conversation. It's not like
It's over here pinging, so I'm turning
Right.
it off.
No, I was trying to think of a way to word what I was saying. I don't care about that. It's not like we're talking about sports.
Right. We're
like-
having like actual life altering discussions.
Right. We talk business in the car a lot.
We do. We really do.
Yeah. Okay, you can get into the next one now. I really enjoy that. That's probably one of my favorite quality times with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy that more than sitting on the couch.
I like our drives to Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're fun. So a lot of people will give the excuse of, I'm too tired to go out. I don't want to do that with you. That's not something I'm going to enjoy doing. I'm too busy. I don't have the time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. You make sure you go to work. You make sure you have time to stop to eat lunch. You make sure you have time to eat dinner. You make sure you have your unwind time before you go to bed. You also make sure you have time to go shopping, get groceries, because all of these things are fundamental to the function of your life. So why would you not put that same energy into the fundamentals of your relationship to make sure you have a good one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that falls into the same category as where does your significant other fall in your priorities of the day?
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What?
So I'm gonna take back what I said. Whatever it was that I said that you were like, take it back.
Okay.
I have to take it back now. I don't
Good.
remember what I said, but I take it back. I'm sorry, because we've gotten 2 super chats that were over $50. One of them was from Audrey that said, you guys are making me rethink all of my relationships. Big thinking to do. I also emailed you today for that. Cannot wait for your answer. To take your time. Big fan. So, Audrey, you're going to be waiting a while because we are getting upwards of 300 emails a day right now, and we are trying to filter it's a lot.
It's a lot.
We will read it. Our screeners will read it, and if it's really good, we'll get to it quicker than other ones because we are starting to cherry pick. But
We are.
I do hope that we get to that. And Zeke sent us a super chat.
Zeke.
Screw it. I'm gonna need about tree fitty, but it's not 3.50. It's 350.00. So it's a big tree fitty.
You did not.
He did.
You did.
He did. His name on YouTube should be Super Zeke,
It really should.
or like he should have like a Superman logo icon next to his name with like
Yeah.
a C on it for chat. It'd be Super Chat Zeke. I don't know. That's wild to
I'm
me.
flabbergasted. When I said 350, I was imagining $3.50.
Right.
How do I respond? Thank you. All right. This was profound to me, and I'm just going to say it anyway. When
Okay.
somebody is on their deathbed, you never hear them say, I wish I spent less time with them.
Yeah. You know how many people are on their deathbed that talk about how they wish that they would have not nagged and complained about the little things so much, and how they wish that they would have picked and chose their battles so
Yeah.
that their days weren't wasted.
I watched a video of a woman, her husband passed away, and one of the only things that she could say was, I can't believe I didn't make him feel like a man.
Wow. That's a fucking regret.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to cuss yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's done.
Yeah.
Like,
That's insane.
right. If those were, like, if you passed away and that was the only thing that I could utter about our relationship, what does that say about me and our relationship?
Right.
Like,
That's heavy.
right. Like the shit that I would have had to put you through to be able to say that after you pass away.
No.
Talk about a regret.
It's crazy to me that somebody would stay with somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we know, you know how I feel about marriage and like trying to save them and not tell people to leave, but the idea of living an entire life feeling that way would be
Crazy.
it'd be a wasted life, really.
Yeah. All right. So I have a scenario.
Okay.
So a gentleman is speaking to a psychologist, and he said that's what she always nagged and complained about, is that I don't spend time with her, or we never go out and do anything, that I work too much. And she was right. We used to do everything together, but my job is so demanding I have no time. The psychiatrist goes, okay, well, tell me about your job. And the man says, In 5 years, I'm gonna be where I want. I'm gonna have all the money I want. I'm gonna be able to buy whatever I want. Like, we're gonna have the life that I want to have. And he is proud of what he does. He is proud of the work that he puts in. He gets recognized. He's moving up the corporate ladder. He's doing the fucking thing. And then the psychiatrist hits him with, so once you're at the top of that peak of your mountain and you have everything you want, do you want to look back and see where her footprints stopped walking next to yours because you stopped loving her? Is it worth it when you get to the top of that mountain and you can't share it with the person that you wanted to?
Nope. It's not.
It's not.
For people like me who like I am the most aggressive in business when I'm working for something.
Right.
Not just to make money. I can always make money. Like I'm good at that. And that's kind of a flex, right? But what's the point in that? If I have everything I've ever wanted and I'm fucking lonely and I have no one to share my life with, it's waste.
Yeah.
It is a fucking waste. And when I have like right now, my goal is to buy you a house. I want to buy you a house in Tennessee. And I'm fucking doing everything I can, working overtime, trying to make that a reality. And because I have something new to work for, like my vision board is shifted. I want a Mercedes. I want to buy you a house. And I want to do it in a way that I can keep the house that we currently have so that we can snowbird back and forth.
Right.
And if I didn't have you, I would just be going to work every day and doing my...
This podcast wouldn't be a thing.
None of it would be. But I would literally spend every waking minute at the shop hanging out with people at work and then coming home and going to bed alone and not have any real drive because I wouldn't be working for anything.
Right. You're just in a rut.
Right.
Maintaining.
Yep.
Getting by.
That also, I think, falls under the category where most men tend to work harder and work like for bigger raises and try to reach a higher stature in life when they have a good woman there supporting them and like egging them on to do it. Not nagging, but like
Giving that
cheering them,
encouragement.
giving them the confidence.
Right.
Because I think that when when you have everything that you need and you're able to survive comfortably and all your bills are met, like what are you working for at that point? If you own your house and you own your car, it's just no real reason for it. So,
Yeah.
Did you actually explain what quality time was before we started all this?
So quality time is undivided attention.
Right, but did we get into like
So there are different, like with the first love language, there's different dialects.
Right.
And in those different dialects, I go more in depth of what that quality time means.
Okay, so you're going to do that here. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, not right now.
I
This
just
is more
wasn't
this.
sure if I missed because the first time you started with the dialects.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to start with all of this because, well, the way that he did everything in the chapter, it was very much all over the place.
Okay.
And the kids have been sick this week, so I haven't had all the time to rearrange my thoughts.
So you're also all over the place.
Yeah.
Got it.
But
It's all right.
I feel like hitting people with relatable things is going to make them understand more when we get into the dialects.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay. She is always so negative, as she should be. He removed his love to focus on work. He has given her so little time that not only does she feel neglected, she is no longer secure in their love. Security is one of the biggest things that comes to having the foundation of a relationship. And if a woman does not feel secure in the love, there's going to be a lot of nagging and complaining and negativity going on.
Right. Well, we've also learned that without the safety and security feeling in a woman, everything dies. Intimacy is the first thing to go when a woman doesn't feel safe or secure.
Right.
And prime example of that is most of the emails that we get from women who have men who can't keep a job and they don't feel like there's a future there and they're not safe and secure. Every one of them has a fucked up sex life.
Right.
Every one of them. Not
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them is like the sex is amazing and everything else is fucked.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Your brains are logically wired to depend on safety. The safer you feel, the better your life is going to be.
Yep.
So like for me to be able to provide everything that I've provided for you, you have safety and security, you have a retirement, you have everything that you need in life. Your biggest concern is worrying about what we're having for dinner. I literally handle everything else in our lives to make sure that you're taken care of in that aspect. So much so that when I went to the accountant the other day, you're like, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about any of this.
Yeah.
And like you acknowledged it and you know, we had a moment over it, but do you think that you would be able to function as a stay-at-home wife if you didn't have the security that you had?
No.
Would you be like,
I would have.
have a hard time like not going back to work kind of thing? Or do you think it would, how do you think that would affect us?
So if I didn't have the security that I have in our relationship, I would 100% be working.
Yeah.
I would undermine you as a man.
How?
Subconsciously, I would be doing that. I don't have faith in you. If I don't have faith in you and to run the household, I'm going to step into that role. And if I have to step into that role, it's going to bring out my masculinity. And I know me and my masculinity. I become very combative,
Yeah.
very much challenging. Why am I doing this when you're supposed to be the man of the household?
So our life would be an email.
Our life would be an email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proceed, ma'am.
All right.
Just trying to stay on top of things as we go so I don't have to rehash them later.
Yeah. So the first dialect is focused attention. Focused attention is, he really didn't actually put a definition of there what focused attention is. So focused attention is having that eye contact. If your phone pings, you're not picking it up in the middle of your conversation. So being in the same room with someone is not enough majority of the time when it comes to somebody who wants quality time with their partner.
Right. That's the difference between being there and being present.
Correct. Existing versus quality time. So some people think that they are spending time together when they are only living in close proximity. So if you go to work and you come home at 5 p.m. and you guys are just kind of passing each other in the house, that's not quality time, that's existing.
Right.
A man might say, well, I see her every day after work. Right, you see her, but when was the last time you engaged in her within the first hour of you being home and you guys actually had a 30-minute conversation?
Yeah. And on that topic, though, when was the last time that you actually fucking saw her?
Right.
Like, truly saw her. You know what I mean? Like,
validated her feelings, made her feel loved.
right. Or felt that
Yeah.
on your own. You know what I mean? Like, if I came home from work every day and we didn't really engage with each other, and like I just went and took a shower and got changed and came and sat down on the couch and started playing on my phone and watching TV, and you were on the couch next to me and I didn't actually engage with you. How was your work today, babe? Like, how was the house? How are the kids? I missed you. Like, we didn't have those interactions. That would fuck us up. Like,
Yeah.
and there are people who live in that roommate phase where they don't look at their partner the way that they used to look at their partner. So, before we get further, let's go ahead and get everyone on TikTok over to YouTube and kill the YouTube or the TikTok streams, and then continue from there.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give it away on all the platforms. I'd rather give it away on YouTube.
All right, guys. So we are ending live streams on the TikToks. If you want to continue watching what we're doing, go to our YouTube channel, To Be Better. We are currently live there. You're going to see the rest of everything.
You heard the woman. All right.
Okay.
There's a giant one right there. And it's on wheels. Yeah. All right. So, and before we continue, guys, if you are, as everybody's coming in from TikTok to YouTube, which I'm hoping they actually did, hit the thumbs up, hit the notifications bell, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. The YouTube is what pays the bills here, and the better we do on YouTube, the longer we're going to be able to do this. So do all the stuff that all the other YouTubers tell you to do.
Yes. All the things.
Tell them, what are the things? Because I
Like-
just said it. Do you remember what they are?
Like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell.
There you go. See, she even knows it. It's like she's a YouTuber.
Or I watch a lot of YouTube.
Oh, man.
All right.
There's currently 700 people watching us. I'm sorry, 753.
Corrected.
867.
867.
People are coming over from TikTok.
Fuck
Welcome,
yeah.
TikTokers.
I love that you guys listened.
You can call her daddy from now on.
I almost hit them with good girl. I did. I was like, I don't know if I can say that.
That's funny.
Yeah, it took everything in me not to say it.
You should have. Wasted opportunity.
Next time I will.
You got to wink at him.
I can't wink. Too much.
902.
902.
I'm just going to start blinking at them.
That's funny.
All right. So an SO who texts while their husband or wife tries to talk to them is not giving them undivided attention.
Right.
Thus killing any intimacy that could have transpired. I'm flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said it in my mind, but I heard it in your voice. It's a lot.
So, speaking on the cell phone thing, they've actually done studies that say if the cell phone is visible, the person in the room knows that you are connected to the rest of the world and you are less likely to have an intimate conversation.
Yeah.
So, it's best to leave them on the kitchen counter when you're trying to have intimate conversations. If you're going to be in the living room, leave your phones in the kitchen. Go
Put
sit
your
in the living
phones
room
in the
for an
bedroom.
hour. Yeah. Put them underneath the couch cushion so you can't see them. Because this is a distraction
Right.
all the way around. And like, the amount of in our personal lives, the amount of intimate conversations that are ruined from text messages is fucking insane because we have multiple managers, multiple businesses, we have marketing directors, we have people that are dealing with emails, all the shit that we've got going on, Patreon, fucking Discord, the moderators, it's constant. So in order for us to have those conversations, we literally have to tuck our phones away or get in a car.
Yeah. I
prefer
like going in the car.
Yep. All right.
right.
I'll let you do your thing. I'll
So-
try to stop interrupting.
Quality time equals doing something together and giving full attention to one another. So, a husband and a wife running.
Like doinking? No, I'm sorry.
Did you just fucking say doinking?
I did.
Doinking. It's hitting that spot behind my brain. I
Yes.
mean, in my brain, like right behind my left ear.
Yeah.
Doinking. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that word. It's nice. Like glue. I like the word glue.
I don't know why people fucking watch us.
I don't know either. My autism's really showing right now. So a husband and a wife running errands together are spending quality time together. People generally don't like going shopping, going to Walmart, Publix, Target, whatever they have to do. A lot of the time there's frustration around that because we have to go in and out, and then the wife wants to start looking at things, and then an hour goes by and we're only supposed to be in here for 5 minutes. And they're like, all right, let's go. We have other shit we got to get done. Don't rush me. Oh, I see that a lot in public. So instead of getting frustrated in the moment, recognize that you two are out in the world doing something together. They are not focusing on the tasks. They are focusing on spending the time together. What is happening on an emotional level is what matters.
So don't go shopping if you're trying to spend quality time with your person.
I mean, yeah, if you're easily infuriated by that, don't do that. But it's an example
Right.
of how you can turn something that's usually a negative situation for somebody into a positive one where you can go shopping and have fun conversation, figure out dinners, buy a bunch of junk food, buy popcorn and plan a movie night in the middle of the store.
You know, when we go to the mall, like when we have to make mall runs or to the
Right.
camera store or those kind of things, we have those days that are just whatever.
Yeah.
But on a local level, if one of us has to go to the store and we both have to go, it's get in and get the fuck out because
Oh, yeah.
fuck people.
Especially at BJ's.
And I don't enjoy that. So it's you saying that, like when we go to the mall and you're hitting the bath bomb store and I'm hitting Apple and we're making the Oakley runs and doing all those things like that, it's just a casual whatever day.
Right.
She's got another patron.
Oh, yeah, that's like 4 of them.
Wild.
So, next one, quality conversation.
Why are you staring at me like that, you pervert?
Because you...
I see you undressing me with your eyes. Better stop it.
the fuck you gonna do about it?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Take my shirt off and...
I act so tough and I talk so much shit. And literally all you have to do is move 1/10 of your body. And
It does it, huh?
yeah. Bunch of TV static happening behind me right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Quality conversation? Is that where we were at?
Yeah, you know, I never thought a man would be able to make me this weak. Like, just fucking... like,
You know
Jeez.
that you know somebody is going to clip that, screenshot it, and that's going to be the next meme in Discord.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one's quality conversation. Quality conversation is a sympathetic dialogue where two people share experiences, thoughts, feelings, and wants in a friendly, uninterrupted context. Does that sound familiar to
It
you?
sounds like what we do every day on this podcast.
I can't put my finger on it, but
Yeah.
I feel like we've named that
Yeah.
something.
This-
Emotional updates.
Emotional updates.
That's what the check-ins are.
It is.
That is quality conversation. And the amount of people who have said, we have never thought about doing this, you guys lack sympathetic conversations in your relationship.
How is it that every one of the first check-in email updates we get, it's always 2 to 4 hours? Have you noticed that?
There was one that was 8 hours.
That's a full
They
day.
spent all day having conversations, crying, coming back, discussing more. And they were, at the end of it, like, holy shit. Like, you just resolved 5 years of issues in our relationship
In a day.
with a sympathetic conversation. What does that say about people? Like, we go into conversations already on the defense.
Most of the time.
Majority of the time. If you just take a step back and put on your listening ears instead of waiting for your turn to speak, it's going to be a different conversation.
Yeah.
Going back to first grade with that shit. Listening ears, people. When someone says they never talk to me, they mean there's no sympathetic dialogue. It's not you haven't spoken in 2 weeks and you've been mute. It's you come home, you say hey, and then you haven't talked to me for the next 2 hours.
Right. That falls into the not seeing your partner
Yeah.
or your person. That also falls under the whole he works too much. It's
Yeah.
not that he works too much, it's that he's not giving you quality time. It's that he's not actually spending time with you. He doesn't talk to me. It's not that he doesn't talk to you. It's that he's not being emotionally vulnerable with you, or he's not opening up to the things that you need him to open up to. These conversations need to be specific. You need to be direct.
Oh, yeah.
If the issue is that they don't take you out on dates and actually spend time with you outside of the house, it's not that he works too much. The issue is that he doesn't actually take you out to dates or do
Right.
things like that. I have a thing where I always go, "What are you doing on this day?" And it's a genuine question because we have something every fucking day.
We do.
So like I have to figure a day where there's nothing going on past a certain point, and once I do, I always buy us movie tickets.
Yeah.
And then I screenshot the movie tickets and send them to you. And you're like, "Oh, no way! We're
I'm
going to
always
movie
super
night,
stoked,
right?"
yeah.
Because
Because I never know what you're asking me for, because there's times like, okay, we're meeting the accountant at 2.
right. So it's a genuine quick little surprise. It's not that big of a deal. It's just movie tickets, but you and I get to drive an hour to where we're going because the movie theater's an hour from the house. An hour back, so there's 2 hours in the car. We get to eat at Cine Bistro and maybe have a drink if that's what we want to do. We have quality conversation on the way up and back. We have a very beautiful interaction on our movie nights. And then we get to see a cool little movie, and then we get to talk about the movie on the way home. So it gives us a new conversation that we haven't had yet.
It also gives us an excuse to dress nice for each other.
Well, you do that anyways.
I do that
You went to dinner tonight, and
Gotta give you something to look at.
we almost didn't make it to dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dress does it for me. That open back shit.
Oh, yeah, I know. I have specifically tailored my wardrobe for your gaze.
I am a lucky motherfucker. That quality time though, and it's one of those things where if I just worked all the time and we didn't have those moments together, you wouldn't tell me you work too much. You would tell me like, it's been fucking 3 weeks since we've spent an hour together outside of the house. Like, let's do something.
Right.
Because we've learned to be direct with what's going on with our problems. And when we are vague with it, we argue.
Right.
Because we're not able to figure out what the actual root of the problem is.
Right.
So I'm going to let you get back to your thing, but we got another red box.
I'm gonna let you finish, but
Calm down, Kanye. Super chat from Lorraine.
Lorraine.
Peaches and Chris are a relationship flex.
Ooh,
All in capital letters.
that's a good one.
Newbies here, join Discord. Beautiful To Be Better Nation family, join through the Patreon link.
I love that little plug.
Yeah. And we got paid for it.
Yeah, we got paid.
Yeah. It's gangster.
Thank you, Lorraine.
It is gangster.
That is dope. Can I finish?
I don't know. I mean, yes, you can finish. I was going to just get real inappropriate. Go ahead.
I know. She's ready. Yeah. All right. So scenario
Who's
number.
the president?
Ronald Reagan.
Okay, just checking.
I just fucking said that in front of everybody. They're gonna be like, "What do you mean, Ronald Reagan?"
Not since the 80s.
So scenario number 2. A wife comes home from work every day, and she talks about issues in the office. This is a regular occurrence. It's been happening for 5 years. Husband listens, and as always, he gives her advice on how to handle the situation. There's a problem. Here's the resolution. Apply it.
Typical man shit.
Typical man
Okay.
shit. Next day, she comes home and complains about the exact same problems.
And then he gets mad.
And then the husband goes, "Well, did you do what I suggested?" And she goes, "No."
And then he gets mad.
2 weeks go by, and the husband gets angry.
Okay.
And says, "Don't expect sympathy if you're not willing to address the issues." So I'm going to pause.
Because we
First
literally just talked about this yesterday
We
on the
did.
podcast. Okay.
The first one is she comes home and she talks about issues in the office.
Okay.
If you do not clarify to a man that you are just looking to vent and be sympathized with, he is going to immediately look for solutions and then get frustrated when you shut them all down. Because men are problem solvers.
Yes, we are.
You cannot expect a man to read your mind and say, oh, okay, she just wants to vent right now. Because everything a man does is a solution.
Right. Do you know why we do that? Because anything that you bring to me that is just venting, our brains don't work that way.
Right.
Right. So like if another man comes to me and says, this is what's going on, he's doing it because he needs to figure out how to fix the fucking problem. We don't have the luxury of just complaining about our lives. Most men, a lot of men now have become very cotton soft and just want to whine and cry and complain about fucking everything. Most men don't do that.
Right.
Most like hardworking real men will just figure their shit out or go to get a solution and fucking move past things. So we don't have we need to talk about our emotions and get all that shit out of there. We want a resolution to the problem so we can move the fuck past it. Yeah. Because if we don't resolve the problem, it's going to continue to happen over and over and over again. And we know that shit. So when you come to us with a problem, our first reaction is, okay, here's how you fix it. And if we don't have that answer, then we need to talk about how to fix it.
Right.
So if you come to me and go, I just need to vent, I'm like, okay, cool.
And you listen very intently.
I do. Because you need to get it out.
Right.
Because otherwise you're gonna hold on to that and you're gonna do the same thing that woman does. It's just gonna come home and repeat the same shit over and over and over again. I'm willing to bet the next thing that you're going to say is because the man's not fucking listening and sympathizing with her. Is that where that's going? Not validating our emotions? Am I good at this?
You're good at this.
Okay.
The second issue is he didn't ask. Are we venting or are we problem solving? One of you bringing that up is going to change the whole course of the conversation. It's not going to be an argument. It's going to be, okay,
Right.
This is what we're doing. We got this. It hurts the husband to see her under such stress.
Yes, it does.
Because the situation is out of his control and that's why he becomes angry. I think a lot of women don't realize that when they come to a man about a situation and he gets frustrated and angry, it's because it's out of his control, especially if it's something that causes stress or emotional harm to his woman.
It makes us feel helpless.
So I can understand why he would get angry.
Mm-hmm. That shit's hard.
I bet.
It's no different than when, like, if you get sick, if you cry. We've had this talk a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're ready to fix this. How do I make this? How do I make you better? Like, no, like if you got sick and had to go to the hospital, I'd be a fucking mess in the hospital because I can't fix you.
Right.
I can't make this go away. That's really hard for a lot of men. This is why most men don't do well as caretakers in a relationship when somebody gets sick and the women actually do it. It's the whole nurture thing.
Right.
But that's a very real thing for a lot of men.
I think if I went to the hospital, I wouldn't ask you to go with me.
I would go.
I could just see you being anxious and panicking the whole
it would be
time.
bad. I don't know if I'd stay, but I would definitely go. And then until you got like a room.
Yeah.
And they were like, she's going to stay here for a few days and be like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'd leave because I can't, I have issues with hospitals anyways. Like that's a whole trauma thing for me, which is not really relevant to this conversation. But
yeah.
I don't know. If there was a comfortable chair in there, if one of these chairs were in there, I would stay.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd put my feet on your bed and just sleep. Depending on what was wrong with you, I would just climb in bed with you.
I was about to say, just lay with me. Like, when did I tell you to get out? You taking me into surgery? Fuck off.
Be really awkward for your roommate.
I can't have a roommate.
Yeah. I mean, if you were in the hospital, you could.
I'm not about to share a room with somebody else going through shit. I would rather.
That's the way that works, though.
I would rather stay home and just put mud on it.
Welcome to manhood. I'm going to have to print you out a man card.
Is that a thing?
I mean, it could be. I can Photoshop some shit.
Ooh, so for all the dudes, you can't speak for our gender. You're a woman.
Bitch,
I'm certified.
We're going to have to make a to be better man card. Where's Luca when you need him? Luca, if you're in the chat, I need that to happen, bud.
Homework. So because he becomes angry, he starts saying, I don't want to hear about it anymore. So he's immediately shutting down the conversation before she can even begin at this point.
Yep.
And to avoid the conversations, the husband starts to throw himself into his work. So all of this, the wife is indirectly telling her husband that she needs attention. I need you to love me. I need you to give me sympathy right now. Highlighted indirectly, because when you beat around the bush, you will never get the result you want unless you just say what you want or what you need.
Right.
She was looking to be seen, heard, and understood in her frustration and her pain. And he was focused on speaking and not listening. He only listened long enough to hear the problem and give a solution. Because of that, they ended a 14-year marriage.
Wow.
All because one of them didn't say, what are we doing here? What is the conversation? What's happening? And because he was only listening to respond instead of listening to understand.
Even if he was listening to understand, though, our brains don't work that way.
Yeah.
They just don't. Some men do. But for the majority of men as a whole, if you come to us with something, we are going to try to fix it unless you tell us specifically, I just need you to hear me right now.
Right. That's actually my next point. Many of us, especially men, are hardwired to analyze and problem solve. You have to remember that a marriage is a relationship. It's not a Rubik's Cube.
Damn, I'm really good at Rubik's Cubes.
I know you are.
That sucks. I thought I had a cheat code there for a minute.
Yeah. Learning to listen will be hard, but it'll always be worth it. And a couple of things that you can start to do to show your partner that you are engaging them in quality conversation. I forgot what we were on. And I can't be like, cut that. So the first thing you do is maintain eye contact. It shows that you are giving them your undivided attention. You're not distracted by the phone. You're not looking at the news. You're not trying to carry on a conversation with Becky Sue behind you who was just talking to you 30 minutes ago and wants to bring up another point. Undivided attention. Do not try to listen and do a task at the same time. So if you're at the computer and I come in here and I'm like, hey, babe, do you have a second? And you're like, yeah, and you're still typing on the computer, I will not start speaking to you until you look at me.
Right.
Undivided attention.
There are some of us who can multitask and do a lot of that shit at the same time. You just can't ask me to do something while I'm doing that because I will absolutely forget.
I'm going to go as far as to say you can't carry a conversation with me while you're in the middle of a task because if your brain is focused on something on the computer, you can't follow the dialogue in a conversation.
No, I can. I really can. I just choose not to do that because the last time I did that, I was supposed to put water in the fridge and I didn't. So when you're asking me questions from now on and I'm in the middle of something, I'm like, wait a second.
It's not even questions.
Anything.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to finish doing what I'm doing real quick and then give you my undivided attention because if you fucking ask me to do something, I'm going to forget.
Right.
And I'm not doing that again because I felt like a dick that you had to drink a warm protein shake.
Oh, I didn't even have a protein shake that morning.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then now I feel like a bigger dick. So thanks.
I hate that you feel like a dick. I didn't do anything to make you feel like shit about it. I was
know.
like, that kind of sucks, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
what am I going to do? Sit here and bitch at you about it? It's not going to make me
You
have
could
a shake
have.
faster.
You could have.
I could have, but that's not going to make the water cold in the pantry.
Nope, it's not.
All it's going to do is make you feel bad and realize that I'm a bitch when you don't listen to me.
That's true.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. You'd have to ask everybody who does that to their man. I don't experience that with you, so I don't know.
Next thing you can do to show engagement and quality conversation with your partner is to listen for feelings. Ask yourself, what emotion is my significant other trying to convey to me right now? Once you think you figured out what their emotion is, hit them with, I hear that you become frustrated when I let the trash pile up. Don't get defensive. Don't say, well, I was in the middle of doing this and you asked me and I told you to wait 5 minutes. I hear that you're frustrated and it's because of X, Y, and Z. And if they confirm that that's what the issue is, say, okay, I hear you. Next time, I won't put it off for 30 minutes. I'll just take it out.
We've been telling people to do that for 17 episodes now.
17 episodes and a fuck ton of sideshows.
Yeah.
And TikTok.
It's crazy.
Shorts
It's crazy if you just listen and repeat back what you heard to make sure that it was heard correctly and how easy things go at that point.
Right. There will be frustration that comes with that back and forth of trying to understand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 90% of our issue is
It
that
is.
one of us can't keep up.
So the most recent one in my mind is when we were sitting in here and we were going back and forth and I was like, okay, there's a breakdown. One of us is not understanding. And you would say something and I would say it back to you and you're like, no. And you would say it again. I'd be like, I still don't fucking understand. What are you saying to me? And you're like, I'm speaking English. This is what I'm saying to you.
It really took us like 10 minutes to get that hashed out. And then afterwards we looked at each other and we were like, that
That's
was so stupid.
I can't believe we just did that. We're stupid.
Yeah.
But we went from an 8-hour ordeal to a 10-minute back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah. We haven't had more than a 10-minute disruption in probably the last 4 months.
Right. And those 10 minutes disruptions happen maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. And it's always over the most trivial shit.
It really is. It's because one of us is slow.
I've been hit in the head a lot.
Yeah. I had a paint can dropped on me as a kid, so
That explains a lot.
the back of my head, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those bare ones. I believe it was green paint.
That's pretty specific.
It was. I was traumatized. It does explain a lot. Self-realizations live, guys. Next point. Pay attention to your partner's body language. If you're in a conversation and they go, I'm fine, but their arms are crossed, they're not fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't glaze over that. We
We have books on a book list in our Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
and at least 2 of the books on that list are a body language.
Right.
It's one of those things that I tell people all the time when I mentor them that they need to read a book on sales because it can really help you do things. When it comes to reading body language, it doesn't take much to just understand if somebody's comfortable or uncomfortable in a conversation for you to change the dialogue so that things can be a smooth conversation. And like, guys, it's not a big deal to read a book. And if you don't like to read, get an Audible. It's fucking worth it to invest 5 or 6 hours of your life into something like that because it will absolutely change the way that you communicate with people.
It certainly will. What were you going to say?
We're holding steady at over 800.
Shut up. That's crazy.
Yep. And we got another Patreon.
So I want to add in before I move on to the next point that body language saying I'm fine, but making your body language obvious that you're not and you expecting your partner to pick up on that, that's manipulation.
Yeah.
You cannot use body language and, well, I'm showing him. I'm not saying it, but I'm showing him. That's not an excuse to make your partner dig for what's the matter with you. I give 3 chances to anybody in life. I will ask you the first time. I'm going to ask you the second time. And the third time, I'm going to be like, okay, this is going to be the last time I ask you. This is your opportunity. After this, don't fucking come to me about it. I also say I ask you 3 times because you can't say I didn't ask you.
Yeah. You sound like me over there.
Oh, I've been saying that for
I know.
15 years.
I
I don't play that game.
I don't either. I don't either. If I come to you with something and I ask you and you are not ready to talk about it, you'll tell me. I'm
Yeah.
processing. As soon as I'm able to like articulate myself, we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to ask you again. And if it's me, you'll tell me.
Yeah.
It's something you did and I need to figure out how to talk to you about it. And until I do, I'm just not having this conversation right now. I'm like, okay, cool. I know I fucked up. I'm gonna go play on the computer while you watch Orange is the New Black and we
Yeah.
can have this conversation when you figure it out.
You also don't push.
No.
Even if your anxiety and panicking and your BPD is kicking in, you think that I'm going to leave, you don't push.
I don't push because I think if you were going to leave, you would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would.
Like I know enough about you to know that if you were going to walk out the door, you'd walk out the door.
Yeah, it
you
wouldn't be a
tell
game.
me. You wouldn't tell me I'm processing and I'll talk to you when I'm ready if you were at that point.
Right.
So there's not like an anxiety or a fear there. If we were out and about and you were at work and I was in Sarasota and you sent me a text like we need to talk, I'm fucking calling. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ball game than you kind of pissed me off and I need to process on how to bring this to you because I mean, you told me.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a me problem. At that point, like, there's nothing for me to freak out over. I know I fucking
Right.
did something wrong, and you're working on it. And when you work through it, you'll tell me what I did, and I can correct it, and we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different than I'm fine. You go with your friends. I don't care. Yeah, that's a trap, bro.
Do what you want.
It's not okay. Don't go. Abort mission.
I would go because
I
you
would
said
too.
go.
Yep.
If you didn't want me to go, I mean, common sense is I would expect you to tell me, babe, I'm not comfortable with you going, but you didn't.
Yep.
You're like, go, do what you want. So I did what I wanted to with the plans that was already pre-made
Yep.
that you all of a sudden had an issue with tonight.
Come home, have your partner super angry at you, and be like, "What's wrong? You shouldn't have went. You told me I could, but nothing, nothing.
are you upset?
You should have. You lied.
You fibber. I don't do that
man.
childish shit. I would instigate so hard.
I know. I don't.
I
either.
would.
I don't either. I'm like, I'm an adult, man. Like, you want to play middle school games? Fucking. I'm not the one.
My 5-year-old communicates better than you. I would hit people with that. Really, he does. He hit me this morning with, I'm frustrated. I
Yeah.
was like, why are you frustrated? Because of X, Y, and Z. Look at you following the string of your emotions.
Yeah.
More emotionally mature than 40-year-olds.
Our
Get it,
our
son.
kids are gonna be gangsters when they grow
Oh
up.
my God, I'm so excited.
Yep.
So dope. Okay, I'm done bragging about our kids. The next point is, on average, people listen for 17 seconds before they interject their own opinions. So you have to actively hold your tongue. The goal is to learn to understand, not to defend your point of view. So if in a situation, a wife comes to her husband and says, babe, earlier today you said something in front of everybody and embarrassed me. That's not an accusatory statement. That is, you've embarrassed me. My feelings are hurt. If the husband then goes, well, it was just a joke. You're soft. That's defending instead of actually listening and understanding that you hurt her.
Do you think that people do that because they realize they fucked up and just don't want to own their mistakes?
Yes.
So you think that comes from a lack of self-awareness or accountability?
Yes.
Because I got to be honest, if you ever said something to me like, "Hey, what you said embarrassed me," I would apologize to you, and then I would correct the whatever it was that I did or said to embarrass you in front of people. I would apologize to you in front of those people, because I don't ever want that to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, there are times that I know that my joking is not always at the appropriate time.
Right.
Because we've had it where I've been joking and you've been like kind of mad at me, and I'm
Yeah.
over here cracking jokes and shit thinking everything's funny, and it's fucking not. It happens.
Right.
But I also think that humor is part of my trauma response.
Yeah.
So like that's,
When you're uncomfortable in a situation, that's how you cope.
yeah, I really do. But I also know that like, I believe that pain and embarrassment are the two best teachers on the planet. Because if somebody does something to embarrass you, you will never fucking repeat that thing ever again, because you will know what that embarrassment feels like.
The chat's requesting, Chris, can you pull your mic down, your stand, and line it up with his split screen mic, the arm?
Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it. Hang on.
A little bit more.
What?
Perfect.
Can I like...
On the split screen, the mics are like this, the arms, and it's driving people nuts.
Tell me you have OCD without telling me you have OCD. Do you guys remember that TV show Monk that was on USA?
Yes.
It's fuckers.
Saw you guys. Okay. So. So, some of you in the chat might be like, Peaches, how do I learn to talk? This is so hard for me. I'm emotionally shunted and my parents didn't let me speak freely, and I want my partner to feel loved. Well, lucky you.
You have notes.
I got some notes, and I did the research so you didn't have to. So, before we get into how you learn to talk, I'm going to give you a little blurb and a definition. Self-revelation. Disclosure of one's character or motives, especially inadvertently.
I need you to say that again.
Self-revelation. Disclosure of one's character or motives, especially inadvertently.
I'm still not getting it. I'm getting hung up on you using the term character, and
So inadvertently means without intention or accidentally.
Right.
So putting forward what your intentions are. Or if somebody comes to you and say, hey, you did this, even though that action was inadvertent, that reflects your character.
Okay, that I get.
That reflects on your motives. So being able to take that step back and looking at yourself as a whole picture, even if your actions weren't meant to be hurtful or they weren't meant to be offensive or you said something in a joking manner, you still have to be able to take that step back and be like, damn, okay, I get it. I take ownership of that. Going forward, that's not going to be a thing again. So in learning to talk with your partner, if they want that quality conversation and they're coming to you about something, you have to be able to take that step back and be like, okay, I understand and I sympathize and I was wrong. I'm sorry. Instead of being defensive and attacking or looking at your phone to avoid the conversation because you feel like shit for hurting your person.
It's also important to know that when you guys do that, if you have a significant other who is able to just apologize in the moment and is genuine and sincere, don't repeat yourself. Don't harp on it. Don't just continue to reiterate the point.
Right.
Like, know that they heard it. Move past it, because if you continue to go and harp and nag, it's going to create a giant fucking conflict. And the person on the other receiving end of that is going to feel like it was already resolved because they acknowledged what happened, they apologized, and is trying to move past it.
Right.
It's okay to feel it. You can still be hurt and embarrassed or whatever the case may be. But when your person repeats it back to you and everything is resolved, you can't keep throwing that and doing it. Holy shit.
That actually came in a minute ago. I fat fingered it and missed send.
Troy Lawrence.
Troy.
I absolutely love you guys.
Thank you.
I joined the Patreon, the Discord as well as implemented the check-in.
Okay.
$2.99.99. Yes, I'm getting fucking super chat. You guys are making my armpit sweaty.
Yeah, I'm having like fucking
Heart palpitations. You good? You want me to wink at you and bring you back to life?
Trouble keeping up with squat, she said.
Oh, Danielle's in the... Oh, fucking Danielle in the squats.
She said total 1024. She's done 466.
Oh, my God. She's going to need a handicap rail in the
Girl,
bathroom.
yeah, she's gonna need something.
All right, guys, hold on. So Danielle has orchestrated women doing squats for dollar amounts during our super chats on Thursdays. She's also, her and I believe one other person are doing lunges for donations on our website as part of their fitness routine. So for
Okay.
all of you who are watching right now who have been contemplating sending super chats, do it. Because I'm a sadistic bastard and I
Yeah.
would love to hear I have to do 3,000 squats.
Get it.
Fucking call her Bambi for the next 3 days.
Dude, those DOMs are not a joke. I did 200 squats in a row one time, and I literally could not sit down to take a piss. Like, my knees were not bending.
When people that do body weight exercises, like when you do CrossFit, some of the exercises are for time. Well,
Yeah.
all of them are for time, but some of them are just body weight shit.
Right.
And I believe Angie was one of their workouts, and it's like 100 pull-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and they're like air squats, and it's for time. And I did all 100 of my pull-ups when I was like in shape,
Yeah.
without coming off the bar. And when I got off the bar, my hands were busted open and bleeding and shit.
Did you say 100 pull-ups?
100 pull-ups.
I can't even do one.
The squats, though, even at body weight, at that was so much worse than squatting like weight,
Yeah.
because it's just so much lactic acid buildup as you're going.
Right.
She's in there watching the live stream, fucking sweating her ass off, going, no more, no more. And we're like, yes, give them.
Keep going.
You get no sympathy from me. What was that thing? You want sympathy? You look between shit and syphilis in the dictionary, because that's the only place you'll find it.
Is that from a movie?
Yeah.
Probably one I haven't seen.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah. You need to get started on that list again.
That list actually has shit added to it.
Oh, wow. It just
So,
keeps growing.
Yep. Hey, we will always have something to look forward to, though.
We will, yeah. These movies are wild.
Quality time.
So much fun. I love that for you.
Did you say I'm so much fun? I love that for you.
Yes.
We need to get you one of those airplane neck pillows because your ego's gotten kind of big.
Zeke wants to know, was it Major Payne?
I don't know if it was Major Payne or not. I feel like it was like one of the Lethal Weapon movies, or
If it was Major Payne,
it
I've
was
seen
a
that.
military movie. I just don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Yes, I think it actually was Major Payne. I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I've seen that one. So
Do your fucking job. Pay attention.
I want to throw the notebook now,
Go ahead.
just to be defiant.
You're just gonna have to get it and go get it.
I know I will. Oh no, the consequences of my own actions.
Oh no.
I
Accountability.
Say that, I say that a lot when we're watching shit. Like in Orange is the New Black, like she was playing her game and now everybody's left her, and I was like, oh no, the consequences of my own actions.
We don't watch TV like a normal couple anymore because of the podcast and all the self-help and shit that we've done. Like, we pause movies and have full-blown conversations about how all of this could have been avoided if they would have just had this conversation. And like,
We were watching Wicked in a theater and somebody goes, this is all your fault if you were never born. I was like, okay, lack of self-accountability. Like, how toxic was everybody in that play?
we did that a couple times in that
We
play.
did.
Dude, we were fucking damaged.
Okay, so for men who are like, talking about feelings is too hard for me, I'll never be able to do that, I want you to think about something. When a wife says, I just want him to talk to me, she is pleading for intimacy. How can she feel close and loved by a man who she doesn't know or understand?
Okay. Kind of feel attacked, but okay.
Why do you feel attacked? No, now I really want to explore that. Why do you feel attacked by that?
Because it is very unlikely for a man to divulge a lot of his vulnerable shit to a woman until they've been together long enough for her to have proven herself to him in terms of trust and loyalty and respect.
Right.
And that doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I understand that.
And in most relationship situations, people don't court, then date, and then do the dating phase before moving in. Normally they meet on the internet or whatever, date for 2 or 3 months, and then fucking move in together and have kids, get married, and then divorced in 2 years.
Right.
So like, because of that, men are not likely to become vulnerable with anyone. It is a lot easier to suppress our shit, deal with it, knowing that it's not worth it to put that out there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Just don't call me out like that.
I didn't call you out, but if the shoe fits.
Oh, lace that bitch up.
So I'm just going to throw this out there. Chat, I did this for you, but it's hurting my back and I matter more. So I'm moving the thing.
Do I need to move mine too?
No, I don't want
I
to.
actually yelled at you like right after you fixed it that you kept touching it.
Well,
Stop touching it. I was like,
No, nobody saw it, but I went like this on purpose, and I let it sit there for a minute. No one said
oh,
anything. and I
no,
was
they
like,
did. I was just
Okay.
interrupting you.
that's funny.
All right. So learning to talk does not come easy for a lot of people. A child who expresses a want for a new toy gets lectured about finances.
Ooh, we talked about that.
We did. That child learns to suppress their desires and their wants.
Talked about that too.
We did. A child who expresses anger is met with condemning words or harsh judgment, then suppresses their anger and does not let it out in a healthy way. So by the time that child reaches adulthood, they don't know how to identify any emotion at that point because all they've ever been met with is shut down. You're not allowed to feel that.
Put some dirt on it. Quit being a pussy.
Right.
Men don't cry. Yeah, you're right.
Children are to be seen, not heard.
Here's the tablet. Go away.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you learn to start identifying your emotions in situations? You start with keeping a list. I really hope by now you guys have a journal because if you're really into this and following along, if you don't have a notebook, I'm disappointed in you.
You know what I think would be dope?
What?
If we took pictures of your notes and posted them to Discord. And a 5 love languages chat.
It's really personal. I'm going to have to process that. I mean, I'm not saying no. It's just, this is a very intimate thing for me. Like my notebook and I spend a lot of one-on-one time with each other. And putting her out there like that is just a lot for both of us. It's a lot for me, but I'm making it both of us because it makes it seem like I'm less attached to an inanimate object.
Okay.
I mean, not particularly. I'm giving it a personality.
You've named that fucking thing.
It's Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you just type it out then? That way nobody has to see the nudity of your notebook. You could put you can have Discord knit it some sweaters so that she's not showing her.
Dude, I fucking
Showing
can't
her
with them
lies.
snickering over there. There's too much. When it's just us here, like we can laugh and go about it. But when there's outside laughter, I'm like, okay, we are kind of funny.
Yeah. Goobers.
It makes me feel good.
Yeah. You live in that life as a comedian.
It is meeting a dream I've always had.
Yeah. You know what the other dream that you've always had was?
Being a good wife.
Me.
Fuck.
Let's go. We still have to do the door frame thing.
Oh God, I know.
It's like the 15th time.
She won't let me do it. We've
Over like 7 episodes.
Dude, okay, so AJ said we've said that like 15 times over 7 episodes. Let me tell you, we did this, and we recorded it, and I put my arm on the door frame, and I said something to her, and she was like, ha, 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 and then started to fall down the wall, and she's like, we can't do this, and she fucking took the camera, deleted the video, and that was the end of it. It was the most inappropriate sound I've ever heard come out of her that wasn't in sexy time, and I want to do it again so bad so that I have that sound on video, and she won't do it.
Oh God.
Next time we do it, I'm going to grab you, like, aggressively and call you good girl, and you're just gonna game on. Yep.
There's a lot happening to me right now, and the only thought on my mind is, oh my God, my back feels really hairy, and I'm recognizing that I'm sitting on a fluffy pillow, and it's just a lot happening.
Now you know how I feel, like the hairy back thing. and you won't let me shave it anymore.
Do you guys ever like get so nervous that you feel like you have to pee, but you don't really have to pee? That's how I feel about doing the door frame thing. AJ gets it.
No, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle gets it. Michelle understands.
If they come back down here, we have to set up another camera and a microphone.
I'm lightheaded.
I should have fucking done that. Dude.
I tried.
So while you're lightheaded, I will spare you some time while you come back to Earth. Who's the president?
First thought was Jefferson, but it's Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
Okay.
Julie Rock sent a $49.99 super chat that says, no, those notes are hers.
Thank you, Julie.
So she's got your back.
I really appreciate her. She's a really good hype woman.
If her last name had an S at the end of it,
Julie
she would be
rocks.
able to just walk around flexing all day long.
Yeah.
Yep. Her parents missed an opportunity there. She's going to have to change her name in Discord.
Okay, so going back, I feel like I just ran a marathon. Keep a list going of things that you feel throughout the day and why. So I'm going to flash you guys this. Can this be seen over there? Do I need to stand up and go close to the camera?
You can go a little closer. It's hard to read.
What are you doing?
I'm going to show them the note so when I
Stick it in front of my camera.
Exposing Lily, okay?
Oh, he has it on the other camera.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have it on your. Oh wow, super out of focus.
Focus.
Still unfocused.
If I focus this, will it autofocus on your face again? I'm just going to do it.
There it is.
So we're looking at this shit right here. All of that.
It's not what I'm looking at.
Okay. So now.
Everyone can screenshot it. Are you going that one?
Okay. So. I'm all flustered now because I know what you were looking at. Okay, so you're going to do an event and then the feeling. So the event, you have a deadline going on. What does that deadline make you feel? It could make you feel anxious or frustrated because you've procrastinated and you have nothing to be frustrated about yourself.
Not me. I don't do that. Procrastination leads to failure.
It does.
If I have a deadline and it's like next Friday and I got the assignment today, guess
it's
what
gonna
I'm
be
doing
done
tonight?
by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Next event could be in an argument. The feelings you can have afterwards is sad or you feel unheard.
Okay.
Event. Bad driver. Feeling angry. So when you correlate events to a feeling, it's going to help you recognize what you're going through and you'll be able to communicate easier with your partner about what's happening in the moment if there's a moment of tension. At
This
the
is
end,
talking about note keeping, right?
right.
Okay.
So how you figure out how to communicate about your feelings, you have to start
Right.
by identifying them.
So white Honda pissed me off. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Right. You make the note.
Draw a little middle finger.
Yeah. Okay. Wife sent me text message today and told me she was going to give me some sexy time, and I got home and she said she had a headache. Feeling frustrated.
Yeah.
Sexually frustrated. Lack of intimacy. Tired. Lying bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how we figure things out. So moving forward, you can be like, hey, you did that, and now I feel frustrated.
And I feel like you lied to me.
Frustrated. For Discord.
I said that.
You did. I love the shit that you say. I went through 2 hours of fucking footage today to find that potato conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got it.
Of the multiple potatoes?
Yeah. We had, it was because on the narcissist email, the lady was like, my ex called me a potato. And we're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Don't you put potatoes down like that? Like,
there was like a good 3 or
oh
4
my
minute
God,
discussion
scalloped
about
potatoes.
Let's not do that again.
Okay, you're right. My mashed potatoes, that's the last one. Okay, so when you start noting those things, you need to do it daily. And find at least 3 situations where you can identify what's happening in the moment and how it's making you feel. At the end of the day, go over that list with your significant other. Remember that your emotions are not inherently good or bad, but your actions, because of the emotions, can be. So if you feel angry, anger is not a bad emotion. It's a body reaction. The way that you react to having that emotion happen can cause a snowball effect of bad occurrences.
I actually can't remember what book it was in, but I actually read somewhere that anger is not actually an emotion, it's a mask. And that when you feel anger, it's because you're not able to in the moment process what emotion you actually need.
Right.
So your default is to just get angry.
It's defense.
Right. So I'm guessing what I'm saying is in the scenario that you just explained, if you are having a moment where you're talking to somebody and your instant reaction is just to get pissed off. I saw you look at me when I snapped. You instantly looked at my hand and looked at my face. You're filthy.
I didn't even recognize I did that. Did I really do that?
It was quick too.
Wow, my body's trained very well.
Yeah. Derail.
You poor thing.
I don't even remember what I was talking about now. You fucking pervert.
I was told to get a Nerf gun to keep you guys on track.
A Nerf gun?
Yeah, and then somebody said aiming something at Peaches is probably a bad trigger for Chris.
Yeah, it would not be a good idea.
So I have an example. You're right. And anger is a mask for an underlying emotion.
Right.
I went to Publix with our son, and I got him in the car. I was pushing the cart around our car to put it away. And this woman came at me very aggressively, out of the blue. Bunch of hostility. I was not prepared for it. My immediate reaction was, who the fuck are you talking to?
I love that.
Like, not me. And there was an exchange, and she just kept going with the hostility. And I recognized my anger was, I felt attacked. A whole bunch of things transpired. But because I was angry, the underlying emotion was attacked. Like, I'm this little rabbit running around the world, and this massive fucking elephant just came out of nowhere and knocked my shit.
Why don't you tell the world what you said to her husband?
So her husband was in the truck with the windows down. And I was like, if this is how she jumps to conclusions with strangers, I can't imagine what your marriage is like.
I think we're wearing the wrong clothes. You're going to need to wear the Savage shirt. We got a chat here that said, hi, therapist here. This is an exact exercise taught in programs to help with behavior changes and improved functioning. Love that you're sharing.
Ooh.
What part of this? Because we've been... Also, fuck you guys for the Nerf gun thing. That just hit me. Like,
Yeah.
you know how many people are like, oh, we love the derailing. That's our favorite part of the podcast. And here we are having fun and like, shoot them with Nerf guns.
I'll shut this whole thing down.
Oh, careful now. I'm still having fun.
Oh,
So-
no. If you guys are going to judge us based on us having fun, I'm not a performance monkey.
Ooh, tell them. Dun,
I'm
dun,
not-
dun, 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 dun.
I'm going to
No.
kick over that jukebox.
Okay.
Somebody said Peaches callouts are rated E for everyone.
I don't play around, man. Like, you want to be nasty to me in public and think that you're going to get away with that shit, I'm going to hit you where it hurts.
I mean, you hit her husband. You hit him where it hurts. Because you know he probably went home and was like, man, why has she got to call me out? I didn't fucking do nothing. You ever see that video of the three guys in the car and the guy is driving like an asshole and the dude pulls up next to him and he's yelling at the fat guy in the back seat? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm not even fucking driving.
No, I haven't
That's
seen
what
that.
that's what that dude, that her husband had to have been.
You know, now that I think about it, he might have felt attacked by that, but that was more of a,
Yeah.
I see you, my
He
guy.
probably went home and kicked his dog over that. Because you know he wasn't taking it out on the wife.
So
Did-
Peaches has the crying clips. Can I do phone drops for you?
It wasn't my phone.
It was a ring.
It's a skull thing.
It's just a metal skull, silver skull that Clocks and Color sent me. I need something to fidget with.
So,
And when I don't have the skull, it's this cable right here that I have to make sure it's perfectly straight. But I have the dropsies.
dropsies.
Yep.
Oh, that's one of the cutest things I've ever heard you say. That and tinkle. You're my favorite person.
I know.
I have a lot of fun with you.
I know.
I landed that, guys.
Did you or did I?
My goofy ass? I don't know. Who landed whom?
Yeah, you guys will have to tell us in chat which one of us got which one of us got the win. I'm willing to bet it's me.
I'm willing to bet it's me.
I think you're wrong. People watch us.
I know. So, when it comes to talking, that's one of the key components in quality time is having that conversation, that back and forth. There are two types of personalities, and I cannot remember the name of the gentleman who wrote the 5 love languages. I want to say it's Gary. Oh, the spine is facing up and I can't see it. His first name is Gary. You can Google it. I am not trying to take credit for anything he written in those books, and this is something that came from him. He said there's 2 types of personality types, the Dead Seas and the babbling brooks. Babbling. That's a lot of B's. Why would they do this to me? Babbling brooks. Oh my God. So the Dead Seas. So the Dead Sea goes nowhere. It receives by the Jordan River, but it does not give. So that is somebody who is content with sitting in silence while the other person just runs their mouth, and they are perfectly content because they are a listener.
I also feel attacked.
Why?
Because I talk a lot.
You are definitely a babbling brook.
It's weird though, because it's just with you.
Yeah.
Seriously, like when we go out, I'm normally very silent because I'm hyper vigilant. So like when I'm home and I'm comfortable, I have motor mouth. Diarrhea of the mouth.
I like that you feel comfortable with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the babbling brooks who don't stop talking. And they will call someone and say, hey, guess what I just heard? You don't do that.
No, I don't. I don't gossip.
And those 2 people end up together 9 times out of 10. In a dating scenario, that's attractive because the talker will talk and the listener will listen. In the long-term scenario of 10 or 15 years, that babbling brook is going, why isn't he speaking to me? I feel like I'm the only one who ever talks and he doesn't reciprocate. And the Dead Sea is going to go, I feel like I can never express myself and I'm never heard. So those 2 personalities in the dating phase is attractive, but in the long term, those can become an issue if you don't address them properly.
Right. We've talked about that too, at length.
Right. Well, the good news is you are influenced by your personality, but you're not controlled by it.
Right.
So that means that you can change the way that your relationship dynamic works. And one way to do that is to establish a daily show and tell, where you both talk about 3 things that happened and how you felt about it. Why are you smirking?
Because if we have a show and tell, I ain't saying shit. Game on.
I'm playing with my hair because I don't know what to do with my hands. Fuck.
Oh, man.
So another dialect for this love language is quality activities.
All right, I have to get a drink.
There's so much happening and I'm flustered.
I switched the cameras when I did.
Did you catch it?
I went from her to right to when you dropped it.
That's funny.
Can I also have a beverage? I'm parched.
You want water or you want soda?
I want soda. Thank you.
We went from show and tell to quality time,
Quality activities.
and my brain went in the fucking gutter.
Oh my God.
Oh, man. I can't with you.
With me?
Yeah, you're a bad influence on my life.
You're welcome. Would you say I'm a bad influence or am I a good influence that you can have fun with? Prolonged waiting period.
We already know that I always say,
Z keeps asking Peaches, did Chris jump off the nightstand onto the bed? I'm assuming that's something in Discord, but he keeps asking, did you jump off the nightstand onto the bed?
no.
You mean like WWE, like elbow me?
People's elbow.
I think that's what he's talking about.
I mean, he hasn't, but I'm interested.
To answer your question, because you said, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't remember my question. I'm glad you did.
I said you're a bad influence.
Right. And I said, am I a good influence that you just have fun with?
Right.
A lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
Right. But have I ever been like, you're a bad girl?
No.
Look at me. Or do I hit you with good girl? Yeah. We are so fucking stupid. And people watch this shit. I'm really shocked that it didn't drop and like break my iPad because that shit hit right on the corner of the table. Pay attention, woman.
I'm going to be honest. Everything you just said, I didn't fucking hear. I heard your voice, but I'm just...
You said...
Yeah, I did. It was just a bunch of E's.
Like tinnitus?
Oh my God. No, it was more of like internal screaming.
Like a goat? Like a screaming goat like the Doritos commercial?
No, it was just me going, ah! Yeah. He said that to me. Composure. We're composing. We're on a live stream. There are hundreds of people watching.
Yeah, better center yourself.
Composure, composing.
How many people are watching this now?
662 still.
We're still over in the sixes. That means 200 people are like, this is stupid, we're leaving.
Okay. Quality activities. The emphasis is not what on you are doing it, but why you are doing it.
Okay.
The point is to experience something together, to build memories, and have that undivided attention and quality time.
That's why quality time is my number one love language.
What?
That,
to build
what
memories?
you just read, to build memories. I want to be able to look back at my life and be like, remember this dope time? Remember that dope time? Remember this dope time? Because that's it.
Right.
Yep.
So an example of a woman who is begging her man to do something with her. She is looking for the validation that he cares. What?
Babe, my mind is so in the fucking gutter right now that every time you say something, I have a sexual, like, dirty response, and it's taking everything I have not to go there.
Yeah.
So if you see me smirking, don't call me out on it. Just keep reading.
Alrighty. So what she is looking for is a validation that he cares, is willing to do something with her, and have a positive attitude about it and be excited about their doing something together. You're doing a really good job.
Oh, it's so hard.
I know, you're doing great. Examples of that: gardening, going to an art museum, working out together, cooking. Doing something together, but the point of doing it together is to show that you are showing interest in what the other one is doing.
Right. So in that aspect, though, going to the gym and working out together, though I agree is something partners should do.
Right.
Excuse me. And I don't mean just going to the gym and like you go over to the machines while I go to the free weights.
Right. No, like we're rotating.
Actually working out, right. Spotting each other, talking shit to each other, amping each other up, like being a legit support system in the moment. It's not an intimate thing, but it is there's a lot of growth that can happen there because you are literally putting your body in a position to overcome the weight, or you're overcoming a struggle or an adversity in trying to grow and get better. And if you're doing that together and you have somebody there to support you, you are subconsciously submitting that I am your support system in your partner's brain.
Right.
I truly believe that. And I think that it's twice now that ice maker's made that noise. I think that that's something that for people who have one person that wants to get in shape and the other one that doesn't quite want to, you should do it together.
Right.
What the fuck is that?
The ice maker.
It's a lot easier, and it's also a lot easier for one person to reach their goals if both people are on board.
Right.
So we got another super chat before we move on. And it says, just because. To Be Better Nation Flex.
Who's it from?
Lorraine.
$100. Stop it. You guys are so giving, and it really blows my mind.
I love it.
I feel blessed.
Me too. Especially because there's still 600 people watching this.
Before I hate 600 people, we're an hour into this.
Are we? I don't know.
A little over an hour
and a half.
Yeah. It's been an hour now. It's been 30 minutes since I looked at my phone. Jesus. Okay, so the essentials for spending quality time together. It's 3 things.
Okay.
3 things, guys. The first one is at least one of you want to do it. Second thing is the other is willing to do it. And the third thing is both of you know why you are doing it. That's all you need to spend quality time together. It's not that hard.
It can be. I'm a devil's advocate.
Okay.
Those 3 things. The first one is that at least one of you has to do it.
No, one of you wants to do it.
Right. At least one of you wants to do it.
Right.
So if one of you really wants to do it and the other one is vehemently against it and they do it anyways, the chances of you having a really good time is very slim.
That's why number 2 was they have to be willing to do it.
Right. So the point of that, though, is that I'm willing to put myself in uncomfortable situations to make you happy.
Right. But I would never ask you to do that. There are things that I know that you would never do.
Right.
Like go to a 3,000 person attendance concert.
Right. But you know how many people are in relationships that want to do those things and want to do them with their partner, even though their partner is not wanting to do those things because of whatever their reason is, and then they try to force it. and then they do those things because they feel obligated because their person has had interest in their hobbies or whatever the case may be, and then they end up fighting, and it ends up being a really big ordeal when it should have been a good time because
one person is sacrificing to make the other person feel loved when the other
Right.
person doesn't care that the
Right.
other person is sacrificing.
Right.
Because they're getting what they want because they're selfish.
Yep. That was the point.
Yeah. If you are getting into a relationship and you're somebody who loves to go to concerts, don't date somebody who's a homebody. Why create issues when there shouldn't be issues?
Because in that first 2-year obsession phase, you are
A people pleaser.
fawning and trying to give the best version of yourself. So you may not want to go to those concerts. And if you ask your person to go and they're like, yeah, no, just take one of your friends and go with one of your friends. It's not a big deal because you guys are in that 2-year phase. And then say 3 years into it, there's 4 new concerts that are coming to your area and you want to go to all 4 and your person doesn't want to go to any of them. And now you're going out and effectively having date nights
Right.
with your sister or whoever, and he's staying at home or she's staying at home. Resentment builds up.
Right.
And I actually am using that term intentionally because there's an envy there.
There is.
Your time is being given to somebody other than your person. And there is resentment to that.
Yep.
But you know, if you jump into something and you get heavily into it within that first 2 years, those things are going to happen. I don't know. You're right. I don't do concerts.
You don't. You really don't do anything with a large venue. Every time we go to an aquarium, we're in and out in 30 minutes.
Because I don't do well with the people.
Right.
There's too much going on for me to assess threats properly that
Right.
it's an emotional overload and I'm overstimulated. It's just all there is to that. If we go roller skating when I rent out the roller skating rink, and I'll invite like 30 people that I know, and
That's
I
a
can go
controlled
have
environment.
it absolutely is, and I'm having a great fucking time. But if I had to go roller skating with a bunch of people there's no way I'd be able to enjoy myself.
Right.
I need to know that I'm somewhat in control of my surroundings. And when we're in big crowds like that, you're not. And if you think you are, you're wrong. So my situational awareness goes off it's exhausting to me.
Right.
Every time. Even when we've gone and we were in and out in 30 minutes, I'm useless the rest of the day. My brain just doesn't work.
Right.
Because I'm trying to focus on everything that's going on around me. But trauma.
Ready for the next point?
Yep.
Fortunate is the couple who has memories.
Yeah.
And I'm going to list off some memories.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Scottish Highland cows.
Oh my God, they have bangs.
A beach sunrise in 20-degree weather.
Ooh, that sucked.
Yeah.
I could feel my snot freezing to
Oh
my
my
mustache.
God, my hands were so numb they were burning.
How'd you enjoy that walk back?
That sucked dick. And it wasn't even good dick. Like, it was sad behind the 7-Eleven at 2 a.m. Like,
That's funny.
awful. But it's a good memory to look back on.
It was a good memory.
Like, an intimate moment in the forest by a stream.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
That's one of my favorite memories. It was nice outside. It was overcast and slightly rainy. I could hear the wind in the trees. The water going blah, 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 blah. Birds were chirping. Such a good time. Wicked.
Yeah.
Dancing in the kitchen. Us working back to back. Me showing you Jefferson, the vein in my arm for the first time the other day while working out.
You enjoyed that working back-to-back thing, huh?
I do, yeah.
You named your vein Jefferson?
I did name...
Just waiting for you to catch that one.
I did. I named my vein Jefferson, the one that pops up right here.
So fun fact that you probably don't know about me. That's one of my favorite names.
I know it's one of your favorite names.
The guy Jimmy from
It's
Yellowstone,
Jefferson.
His name is Jefferson White.
I know.
And he's a photographer
You
also.
think I didn't know that about you?
I don't know. I don't know if we've ever had that conversation or not. But if I ever, like, I'm obviously never having another kid, but if I ever had a male pet,
Let's get a dog.
I would want to name him Jefferson.
Let's get Jefferson and Elphaba.
We'd have to get the hairless dogs. We'd have to
I
get
know.
Zolos.
I know. It's a big commitment, and
It is.
I'm just speaking it into existence.
Right.
I'm not pushing it. If you say no, I will accept that because it is a lot of responsibility, and I'm already super overwhelmed with 2 kids.
Yeah.
And myself. I'm a lot to handle sometimes.
The dogs would be better behaved.
Yeah.
Unless I can start rubbing the kid's nose in it when they pee the bed. Sorry. It's fucking stupid. I'm telling you, I make inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
Can't help it. It's just funny to me.
I know. I appreciate your sense of humor.
I'm glad because most don't.
All right, so steps to take for quality time. First off, before I even get into that, wouldn't you guys want memories like that with your significant other? I could have kept going. There's 3 more tack lines on here that I was going to write in. I was like, no, I need to stop because I don't want to brag. I do want to brag, but I don't want to rub salt in the wound. I love our memories. Like when we were dating, staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning, texting, knowing that both of us are in bed by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that was bad. You want me to throw some things onto that list?
Yes.
The hurricane drive in the fucking Jeep with hurricane winds and 2 kids sleeping in the back of the Jeep and a lifted Jeep with like 17 inches of ground clearance.
With 2 bags packed in between them because there was nowhere else to put them. 3 backpacks in front of me.
Yep.
I'm pushed all the way forward with my knees in my chest.
That was a very long 4-hour drive in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we didn't get there until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. That was a good one for me though.
Yeah.
Like there was a whole lot of closeness that happened that night because we were going through like
a natural disaster.
Right. Your Bible search was a really good one for me.
That's a good one for me too.
The chicken pot pie in the hotel that night.
Yeah.
Yep. The stealing the cookies from the hotel and the I walked by and I was like, man, ain't no more fucking cookies out here, and you were like, bam, I got
you.
some.
I took them on our way out 4 hours prior, and they were in my pocket gathering my body heat, so they were like nice and warm. Yeah.
Yep.
That was all premeditated. I was like, I got him.
We really do have crazy little adventures.
We do.
Chat, remind me when we're done with the love languages to talk about the gas station incident because I said that I would talk about it on the live, and that just triggered that memory.
Okay. So steps to take if your partner or yours love language is quality time. Things that you need to do. First one is some couples spend more time together than others. Like you and I, for example, we're together 24/7. Designate specific times and places for quality time, like you buying movie tickets. All your time together cannot be quality time together.
That's true.
You work a lot from home. I have to clean the house. I have to tend to the children. I'm cooking dinner. So even though we're in the same house, we're apart from each other 5 or 6 hours a day because we're focusing on individual tasks.
Right. Which is healthy.
It is healthy, yes. That's why it's healthy to designate specific times for that quality time together, because if you guys are just existing in the house, there is no quality time. Number 2 is ask for both of you to compile a list of 5 things that you would enjoy doing with the other person. Don't assume that you know what the other would want to do with you. And then take that list, so there should be 10 things total. Plan to do 1 a month.
Okay, so all of you guys who wrote down your love languages that I asked you to write down in the initial intro, write that down on your love language list so that you have that for the end of this. What were they again? 5 things that each of you want to do without assuming.
Without assuming.
Okay.
So, for example, I would sit down and write down 5 things I want to do with you.
Right. Things that you want to do.
Right. And then you would write your 5. And then we compare. The likelihood of you nailing all 5 things, or the likelihood of you guessing your significant other's 5 things to do, you wouldn't guess all 5 of them.
Yeah, I don't think that you would want to do that though. You should write your own once and then compare and then go, okay, I'm willing to do this. Well, I'm willing to do this. Cool, then let's start doing that.
Right.
That makes a lot more sense than trying to guess what your partner's going to want to do or your person.
I'm not saying to guess.
Right. I'm agreeing with you.
Right, okay. And then that gives you, if you do 1 a month, you have 10 dates planned. That's almost a full year where you guys have designated.
Really? That's it. No, it's not.
A list compiled of 10 things to do, and you do 1 a month. That's 10 months.
That's not enough.
Right, but if you're new to this, you can't just go out the gate and say, all right, we're going to go on a date 4 times a month.
Can we do bi-weekly?
Let's start with do 1 a month for 4 months. And then after the 4-month period, do 2 a month.
Okay, I'll accept that. I'll accept those terms.
Okay, I'm glad. Because I wasn't going to negotiate further.
I love it when you talk tough.
Did that really sound tough?
It did a little bit.
Hell yeah.
I'm not going to negotiate any further. Julie Rock sent another super chat.
Again?
Yep. She needs to change her name, though, because there's missing an S, and I feel like there's a really big missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
Fortunate is the couple who has memories. Mm-hmm. That's what she wrote. And then she wrote, hell yeah, Jefferson Flex.
Hell yeah. I can't get him to flex. I can do that.
Stop showing off.
I can't. I'm proud of my progress. I'm
proud of your progress too.
I used to just be like wet noodle arms. And now there's some meatballs going on. Just call me a little meatball sub.
I'm going to stick with Hot Pocket.
All right. Number 3. You can have quality time together when one of you is at work. And that is by sending a photo of what you are currently doing to include your partner in what you are doing.
That would be a request for connection.
That's still quality time.
It is. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone with
right.
that.
So if you're at work and I'm at home with the kids and I send you a picture of all 3 of us outside in the sunlight, you're going to be like, oh, damn, they thought about me in the moment and now I'm part of this with them.
Yep. And it also gives them a reason to talk to you about what you're doing in the moment.
It does. Engagement.
Yep. I don't think people understand how important that request for connection is. With I think it was 85% accuracy with that study. They said that people, the university that did that said that up to 85% accuracy, they can determine who's going to be divorced within 5 years.
Yeah.
By the request for connection denials that were happening at breakfast.
Yeah. Crazy.
It is crazy.
Number 4. You don't have to do this all the time. Every once in a while to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and make your partner feel loved is okay. If it's a repetitive back to back to back to back, you're giving and they're receiving but not giving back, that's a problem. So number 4, if you haven't done anything in a while, think of an activity that your spouse absolutely loves doing. Gardening, bicycling, going for hikes in the morning. And if you don't get pleasure from that, it's not something you hate doing or you're absolutely against doing, but if you get uncomfortable sweating, go and do it anyway. If your partner goes for a hike or if your significant other goes for a hike every single morning and you opt not to do that and it's been 4 months since you guys have done that, go and do it with them. That's going to mean the fucking world to your person.
And don't complain.
Don't complain about it. Number 5, plan a 2-day getaway within the next 6 months. If you have kids, arrange a babysitter. Get grandma, get auntie, call your brother. Be like, look, we haven't done anything. Things are getting tense. The woman and I need some alone time. We're on the rocks. Shit's bad. We need a weekend to go away and reconnect. And go away. Go to the beach. 2 nights. Leave Friday morning, stay Friday night, Saturday night, go back Sunday.
You can do those little weekend getaways in town.
Yeah. It can be in town. Drive away 30 minutes.
That's it. You literally go to the next city over that you don't go to on a regular basis and stay in a hotel. And if you do that, I mean, realistically, you can get hotels fairly cheap if you're willing to not stay in a high end space.
Right.
And that gives you more money to go to dinners and do things like that. Like if you are smart budgeted with your money, those two-day weekends or 2-day getaways can be dope as fuck.
Right. Another example instead of hiking is Books A Million. If you're with somebody who is an avid reader and you don't read and they go to Books A Million once a week, join them. Walk around with them for an hour. If they want to stay for 3 hours, I can see how that would be an issue, but walk around the store with them for an hour. Interact with what they interact with. See the books that they like. So if you're out on your own and you see something that's similar, buy it for them. Learn to love your partner.
I want to add on to that. When people do things like that, the bookstore thing, you said don't make it 3 hours. If you do make it 3 hours, they're not going to want to go again.
Right.
I don't want to go to a bookstore. I
Right.
will go and I will dick around with you for 35, 45 minutes. But I'm going to get to a point where I'm like, are you fucking done? Can we go? When that starts happening, people don't want to go anymore. I won't go to Walmart or Target because I know it's going to be a fucking process.
Right.
But if we started doing things together and you could tell that I'm starting to get uneasy and I'm ready to leave. Agitated. And you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. And we left. I would be more apt to go with you next time.
Because I recognize your body language.
Time. Right. Instead of going, well, you never do this with me. I don't want to leave yet. Or I don't ever get to come here. I don't want to leave yet. There's got to be an ebb and flow there.
I usually stay for 3 to 4 hours.
Right. Yep.
It's a give and a take. If your partner is willing to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation for you, you should be willing to cut it short. Because they just put themselves out for you, you should put yourself out for them a little bit.
I agree.
Number 6. When you spend more time on Facebook than you do listening to your partner, you are more concerned about your friend's well-being than your spouse's. What was that? Are you filthy? Are you
Oh,
being
it's so
filthy?
bad.
Okay. So this is the last part of it, and we're done.
Okay.
How does one find time for quality time with their partner?
You make it.
You make the time. Like I said prior, just like you make time for lunch and dinner, it's essential to your marriage like food is essential for your survival. It is hard, and it does take planning, and will you have to give up some of your personal time for this? Yes. And I'm going to ask you guys, I'm not even going to answer this. If you were to do all of that and it improves your marriage, will it be worth it to have a loving, safe relationship to be in?
Absolutely. This is real simple, right? This is super fucking simple. The amount of people who have a miserable relationship that do not enjoy coming home from work and do not want to be around their partner because they don't want to fucking be at home is very high.
Right.
And if you take that time to rebuild the intimacy and love each other with your love languages, and you are able to just take an hour a day where you do something with your partner, your person, to match what needs to keep their love meter full, the rest of the week that you're with them is going to be a lot fucking better.
Yep.
So if you don't prioritize your person, you are actually doing yourself a disservice.
Yep.
The idea of not wanting to be around you is not appealing to me. And if I was to workaholic, neglect the things that you need, not give you positive affirmations, not engage with you the way that your love languages need, and make you feel like we were in the roommate phase and you started nagging and like we went down that rabbit hole and became an email, why the fuck would I want to come home? And that can be avoided by prioritizing that extra little bit of time.
And it's not even that much time.
It's an hour.
You can take 30 minutes for a lunch.
Yep.
If you have lunch break at work and your wife is a stay-at-home wife, meet up somewhere. Go to Panera for lunch.
Go sit in your car and call and talk to her on the phone while you're at lunch and be like, hey, I want to have lunch with you.
Yeah.
And-
FaceTime.
Yeah. Put your fucking phone on the dash, eat your sandwich, and have a conversation with your wife. Roll your windows up, turn your AC on. That's enough.
It is. At the end of the day, when you get home from work, don't just go, I'm home. Walk up to her and say, hey, babe, I missed you, and give her a kiss.
Simple
I can't
things.
wait to lay in bed tonight and talk about your day.
Yeah, simple things. We just got another patron.
Another patron.
I'm gonna do the thing again because we're like 2 hours in.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's new people here. So for those of you guys who have just joined in, we just had almost 2 hour conversation of the quality time love language. If you have been watching this and you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, do all the YouTube things, share this with your friends. The easiest way to help us grow the channel is literally to share the content with people that you think will find value in it.
Yes.
If you would like to support us any way beyond that, Patreon is definitely the way to go. We have 4 tiers over there. We have a Discord chat that is off the chain. We have built a dope little community, and there's lots of inside jokes that we've been dropping this entire time for the Discord.
Yes. I would go as far to say, don't even share it if you think someone needs help from it. If you want to hurt some feelings, share it.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. You can definitely do that too. Oh, we also still have some shirts left.
Oh, we do have some shirts left.
tobebetter.co. There's merch. There's not a lot, but there's merch left. If you guys want to get those shirts, we send out some stickers and we will be doing limited drops moving forward. But right now we still have the blah, blah, blah communication shirt and the
Have you checked in?
Have you checked in lately? Yep.
And I think with every release we do, I'm going to do handwritten thank yous for the first 50 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you were pretty on with that. You had some fun with some of those.
I did. One of them is super stupid, and I can't wait for whoever receives it to open it.
Yeah. So are we done with the quality time love language?
Yeah.
All right. Would you like to do the super chat thing now, or
Yeah.
do you
Well,
want
before we get into that, do you feel like that was informational?
I do. I think that for me, all of that was no duh.
Right, because that's our love language.
It is.
I really didn't gain anything from that
I didn't
because
either.
that's what we do.
I didn't either. And when I read the book, I didn't.
Right.
I was like, this is so stupid. Like, who doesn't know this?
Yeah.
And then I read the giving gifts loves language, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Because you have a natural perception of the way things are going to be based off of a title. You're judging a book by the cover, so to speak.
Right.
But for me, like, I know where I get my love meter full. And I know, like, I know that Saturday night when we drive to the movie theater, we have 2 hours of car time. I am looking forward to that. I enjoy the car ride up and back more than I enjoy the movie.
Me too.
It's cool to be in the movie theater and have snacks and like do the movie thing and like we're in lazy boy recliners and like touch each other and like be intimate and close and act like teenagers and like suck face and do all that shit, right? It's fun.
It is.
Have drinks and like, talk shit about all the drunks that are there and we have a good time in doing that. But the car ride up and the car ride back is what I look forward to the most. when we go to Tennessee, I don't dread the car ride. I'm like, we can get up early, get on the road, and miss the traffic running through Sarasota and through Atlanta. I'm golden. We hit traffic. Obviously, there's stress in there.
Right.
But knowing that while we're in Tennessee, because of where we stay and where we have to go, everything is 30 to 45 minutes. So the entire time we're gone, we're driving all over the place in the car together in unfamiliar territory, having conversations, doing the thing. We just got a shirt order.
Oh, shit.
Whoever that was, if you left alive to go to our thing to buy a t-shirt from us, thank you for that.
That was dope.
That just made my evening.
That did.
With that being said, knowing that we're going to be in Tennessee and like driving into the mountains to take pictures and like driving to Cades Cove or doing all the things that we're doing up there, even if we're not talking, we're touching.
Yeah.
Like we're in silence together. We're not focusing on anything that's abstract. We have really meaningless short conversations from time to time, or we'll get into really long, crazy, in-depth scenarios, what ifs and all that shit. And that is a big refill for me.
As somebody in past relationships who used to have very tense car rides, how does that make you feel knowing that you can look forward to them now?
So my tense car rides have always been traffic related. Like if I don't like being in traffic. So if I have to go to Tampa or St. Pete or Orlando,
Right.
it's easier with you in the car, but it's still very tense for me if I get stuck in traffic, because if I'm on 75 and I'm doing 30 miles an hour or I'm stopped on the fucking interstate, it bothers me because it's always just another order. It's always the rubberneckers.
Yeah.
There's never a reason for us to be fucking stopped in traffic. It's people looking at somebody that's broke down on the other side of the fucking highway in the opposite bound traffic, but because everybody's got to stop and look, they got to slow the fuck down and it ruins traffic.
Yeah.
It triggers me. I have road rage from that shit. But when we're engaged in a really crazy conversation, I don't notice it too much.
Yeah.
So it is super dope.
Well, the reason I asked that, because I recall when you made the wrong turn on the way to see the cows, you were like, that could have been a massive argument.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was a different scenario though. That's not, that could have been a major argument. Yeah. I don't know if I want to get into that on live stream.
Okay.
There are people who, when accidents like that happen, will degrade people.
I just know long car rides like that, people get bitchy and complaining and they take their frustrations out on others. And
yeah, there's no reason for that.
Right.
So like, trying to think of how much of this I actually want to say. When you have a situation like we had with the cows where I literally just missed the road, it's really not a big deal. I just turn around, no biggie. Where the biggie could have been is that we were in the car for 3.5 hours on the way up there.
After doing a 12-hour drive the day before.
Right. People get irritable. Like you said, they don't want to be in the car anymore. So in that moment where like, I think that's the road, and then you pass it and be like, yep, that was the fucking road. The other person in the car is like, yeah, you fucking knew it was the road. That simple like jab can ruin the entire day for people, because now like you go from feeling like, oh man, I messed up, to like, damn dude, like you're really going to talk to me like that? And it would have ruined the entire thing for people. So like that's a much deeper conversation that I don't really want to have.
Okay. Well, before we move on, I want to ask the chat, do you guys feel like you gained something from all of that? Because I feel like all of that was useless information. So if somebody gains something from that, that's dope.
Yeah. Let's
Trying to figure out who their favorite mods are. There's a vote going on. Unofficially, it's like Jenna, Zeke, Heather. Heather's probably the bot, Zeke said.
So they're not even listening to us. They're having an argument of who the better mod is in Discord right now. We've gotten 4 orders since I said that about the t-shirts.
Holy shit.
That is insane. And
That
we've
is
also gotten
crazy.
2 more patrons.
So if nobody's paying attention, you want to end this?
People are fucking paying attention. They're
Yeah.
running and buying shirts and joining Patreon. Like,
It was awesome. I gained 6 something, Zeke said. Gained Cynthia Ward. I gained something from every single thing that comes from y'all. Jenna, Zeke has a never-ending supply of dad jokes that I find really impressive. Queen Death, gain, plenty of gain.
Dope. All right, so this was not a massive failure like I thought it was.
no, I was not a failure.
Yeah.
I'm going to read some of the super chats now.
Okay.
Julie Rocks. She changed her name. It's got
Love
an S.
that.
Love that. Julie Rocks. Change is good, right? I'm here for it. For Peaches. Babbling brooks brush by the beautiful bay in Bordeaux by the big, beautiful crowds of bouncing to be better fans. Sorry to torture you. Would you like me to try that again? Or would you like to read that?
Okay, yeah, it'll be funny. Oh, it's Sheldon. Sheldon, you cheeky. Okay.
Discord
This-
for the win.
That dude's funny.
Yeah.
He gets me in the chat sometimes. Yeah, okay. Why am I nauseous? Babbling brooks brush by the beautiful bay and Bordeaux by the big, beautiful crowds of bouncing to be better fans. Jesus Christ. I did it.
Okay, wait. So you did it. Let's do this one more time.
You want me to do it again?
Look at me.
Okay.
Read it. Go.
Fuck.
Go.
Ah! I
Fail.
can't. I
All right.
fucking can't. Oh my God.
Second highlight of the night. All right. EMG, $20 for the algorithm to be better. Wolfsbane's workshop. Anger is a secondary emotion. You feel something else instead turn it into anger because you're more comfortable with the anger than whatever you're feeling. That's a fact. I want to talk about that for a minute.
I didn't hear anything you just said.
Okay. Anger is a secondary emotion.
Yes.
Who's president?
Ronald Reagan.
Okay, so you're here.
Okay.
Anger is a secondary emotion. You feel something else. Instead, turn it to anger because you're more comfortable with the anger than whatever you're feeling, which is what we were saying. He's spot on with it. He gave us $4 for it. $5.
Dope.
But I had an idea, a thought, because I saw this. It's Wolfbane's workshop.
Right.
I'm willing to bet he's got a YouTube channel where he does some sort of crafting thing. It just dawned on me that this is a inexpensive marketing tool for creators.
Oh shit.
Because if you leave a chat and your YouTube channel is a creator channel where you make something, like if that was a knife maker and I was into knives, I would instantly go to that account and see what he does.
Right.
So now that I know that's a thing, I'm going to go to his YouTube channel later tonight to find out what he makes. I never...
Isn't that the... No, that's tactical.
Yeah, you're thinking of Great Wolf.
Okay.
That's pretty wild when you think about it. That's actually a smooth way to market yourself because you just got me to read the name of your business twice on YouTube for $5. And there's how many people? Still 500 people just saw that for $5. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Kelly Castle, can you please explain the difference between emotion and feeling? I believe you said once anxiety isn't a feeling, it's an emotion, but correct me if I misunderstood. You did. It is not a emotion. Anxiety is a physiological response to something. It has nothing to do with emotion. It's your body telling you that you need to run from saber-toothed tigers.
Right. It's a survival tactic.
It is. Yep.
A subconscious survival trigger.
And yes, I'm aware that we weren't alive when, maybe we were. Were we alive? Were humans a thing when saber-toothed tigers roamed the planet? I think we were.
Hey Siri.
I know that at some point I said something
were
like
Homo
that.
sapiens alive during saber-toothed tiger times?
I said something like that once and people were like, we weren't alive during that time. I'm like,
All
shut
right,
up.
well, Siri's still listening, so we'll never get an answer.
Okay. I don't know how to say this name, so I'm going to probably butcher it. Jolarte. Thank you for doing what y'all are doing. You're doing the Lord's work, helping so many people mend their relationships. We agree. We are.
Fucking trying.
Rich Pawn 08 gave us a welcome early access. Heather gave us $5.50. It says, keep it up. Leslie Ann donating what I can for them gains. Get it, everyone? I love that people are donating to make her do squats. Ooh. Liz, Marion Souza from Brazil here.
Ooh.
3-year marriage, 7-year together. We have a business together. I have difficulties tackling. Been more feminine side, sometimes help. She's from
being
Brazil.
more feminine.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so send in an email because there are a lot of aspects to being feminine, and there is more than one way to express femininity. So, are you having issues taking a step back from a masculine role? Are you having issues with self-care?
Well, she says they have a business together.
Right.
I'm wondering if she has a hard time stepping away and letting him just do the business thing while she gives up control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Anne-Marie Crawford, quality time is my love language, but my husband gets upset when I ask him to do something I want to do out of the house or even put the phone down with a conversation, sending an email soon. Do you want to touch on that at all? Because there's a lot to that.
He's denying her request for connection.
He is. And that's actually where my brain went with that. I'm actually really glad that you said that instead of trying to throw like a solution, because that's exactly what I feel that is. We've talked about this, and I'm just going to say this again, and this is a very generalized, broad statement. If you have something that you believe is going to make your relationship better, and you bring it to your person, and you're like, hey, I believe we have room for improvement in some areas of our life, and if we watch this podcast, or we read this book, or we have a check-in, I think it's going to better our lives. If they're not willing to appease you for an hour or 2 hours of your life, there's a problem there. There's a serious problem. Because in that scenario, you're telling your person that you think that there are areas in your life that you can improve on. That's an indirect way of saying we have fucking problems and we need to fix it.
Right.
The second part of that is, here's how I think we can fix it. No, I don't want to do that. I don't have time for that shit. I do enough reports. I ain't doing a check-in.
That would be the only discussion about it. I would pack my shit and leave.
Right. Like where
if you show me that I'm not a priority to you and you do not, our relationship is not a priority to you, I'm not going to try to beg you to give a fuck.
Right.
Either you do or you don't. And if you don't, I got better places to be.
You really got to think about that. Like when your person comes to you with that shit, it is literally because they believe there's a problem, and they're trying to not hurt your feelings. Because if we were having those problems and you came to me about that, that's going to be the polite way to do it. But if you came to me and you were like, I can't believe you never do blah, 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 and we have that argument is going to be a much harsher situation than if you just go, okay, let's do a check-in then. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Your feelings get hurt.
You miss an hour of time that you would be staring at your phone?
Right. Mindlessly scrolling whatever you're scrolling.
Yeah.
Spending money on a game that gives you no substance.
Why you gotta keep calling me out on the podcast?
I mean, if the shoe fits, my guy,
It ain't tricking if you can afford it. I spend a lot of money on that game.
Right, I didn't even say that directly at you. You just outed yourself to 500 people.
I don't care. I really don't give a shit. But you're right. You would rather engage with an electronic device that's giving you nothing. You're not getting any real substance at all. I just don't. This is why I really believe that people just don't like their person. And like, I understand that people grow apart, and I understand that people allow that shit to happen. But I just genuinely think that in most scenarios, people just don't like the person they're with, and they're not uncomfortable enough to want to change. Because one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to have to change to make things right with your person, or you're going to end up alone. Because eventually it's going to get so bad that they're not going to want to fucking stay anymore, and they're going to be like, hey, this is a fucking problem. I've been telling you for 6 years that we need to correct this. I'm done trying. I'm out. And then you're going to be like, well, wait a minute. Don't leave. Let's try. No, that happened 6 years ago. Remember that time I came to you with a request for connection and wanted to address the problems, and you were like, oh, I'm too fucking busy for that. And then you sat on the couch for 3 hours playing on TikTok.
And you heard me crying in the bedroom.
Yeah. Yep. Liz Marion Souza, another 1090. I don't know what the R is for. What is the currency in Brazil?
I think R is the Romanian. I think somebody donated on one of the other streams we had, and they said it was Romanian currency.
This says Brazil. She said Brazil. It's the same chick.
No idea.
Theory Man Dan, what's up from Discord? $10. Y'all are the reason I'm being a better man and can properly communicate to McFlurry and be the proper husband to her, as well as a better father. Thank you both.
I love that.
Is McFlurry a name in Discord?
Yes.
Okay. I just had a full on like, bro, the ice cream machine is down at McDonald's. Stop it.
No, her name is actually pretty comical to me. It got me good. There's another one in there. It's like McFlurry. I don't know if I can say. It's breasticles, but it starts with a T.
Oh, you could say that.
It's funny. And then there's another one who named herself Dumb Bitch, and that just soda almost came out of my nose when I read that.
So it's okay for people in Discord to give themselves names that are self-deprecating, but I can't even make a jokey joke without having to correct myself on Patreon and YouTube and in live Discords and all that?
No, because I don't live with that person in their self-deprecation.
I'll take that. You can hold me to a higher standard.
I do hold you to a higher standard. I expect a lot out of you.
Yeah.
I do.
Do I meet or at least do I exceed or at least meet those expectations?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say you excel in majority of them.
I'll take that. Penny Alexander. Hey, I am new here, but I love you guys. You have reached me all the way in Idaho. I have an email in the works, and I can't wait to learn more from you guys. Thank you for all you do. You are welcome. Katrina said, Patreon is me. Jasmine Ramirez, $1. Random 2000 mine, 99 cents. Does it for you when Jasmine sends money in.
It does. It makes me feel good.
Charlotte's World, $1.99. I don't know who Charlotte's World is, but her profile photo is of a blue tick American Staffordshire Terrier, and that dog is fucking cute. Jen Mittner, $9.99. Amanda, $5. Julie Rock, $9.99. AJ in the house, celebration cones. Danielle True, $5. Gained a lot, not a failure. Y'all are awesome.
Hell yeah.
Kudavelli, $10. My wife just placed an order for merch. Sadly, I couldn't get anything myself as you don't go up to XXX. If possible, please support 3X and 4X males in the future. We will be doing that. This was a trial run, and I overshot my estimate big time. So I'm really glad I didn't do that because there would have been like 30 3X shirts just sitting in a box because I probably would have only sold like 4 of them. So that's coming.
They will be limited though.
Just not yet. Yeah. And if you're in Discord, we learned that Patreon gets early release. We released those shirts in a live stream 2 days or a day before we released them to the general public.
They had 24 hours.
Yep. Danielle, $9.99. Thank you guys for giving us the community to better ourselves. Sophie Cullen, thank you guys for what you do. You've really made me change the way I think. I listen to your podcast to fall asleep. Keep it up. Love y'all. Thank you for doing that. If you play the playlist on repeat while you sleep, subconsciously you may gain information, and it will drive our algorithm, and we will get paid while you sleep.
Yes.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Hey, did that therapist ever message back and say?
I didn't see anything.
Okay. Sasha Kostic, $27.99. Aurora, love that name. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for all you do. I wish y'all had some thoughts and advice to those who are in recovery relationship, AA, Al-Anon. I mean, we kind of have talked about that a little bit. That's a very slippery slope because addiction is one of those things that is hard for everyone that's involved. So, Theory Man Dan, say her name, Peaches, $5.99. $5, I'm sorry.
That's me.
Yep. That's it on the super chats. Would you like to fuck around, have a discussion? Do we want to call it a night? It's now 9:01. It's been 2 hours. Do we want to get into regular conversations at all? Has there been anything in the chat that's been relevant that we missed that was not a super chat?
I don't know. I've been kind of just monitoring the cameras and stuff and looking at the chat. Nothing since you guys stopped.
Okay.
I'm sure they will in a second once now that you're done with supers.
Yeah.
We're talking about the 5 love languages book. Oh, you need to hit the gas station. Gas station instead.
Oh, so we talked about this a little bit in Discord. I'm going to set this back on the thing right now. Good call on that, guys. So the gas station thing that I talked about before, we had talked about, I think once or twice actually on podcasts. When you have somebody who has situational awareness like I do, I am hyper vigilant to threats. Tonight was the first time in probably a decade that I sat down in a restaurant and didn't have a back to a door. And the only reason why I didn't have my back to, my back to a wall is because the person on the other side of the booth was armed. And I knew that. So like there was and he was military. So like I have a comfort in that. But my situational awareness is off the chain. I'm always looking around. I'm always trying to see what's going on. There's a very real PTSD trauma response thing that goes on in my brain when I'm in public. With that being said, we went to a gas station once, and this story is more for Discord than anyone else, but we stopped on our way back from Tennessee after the hurricane. We had the kids in the car. No, we didn't. It was just you and I.
This was just I. Yeah, you and I.
You went into the gas station. I followed you in. You went to the bathroom. And while you were in the store, I'm standing by the bathroom door. And when you came out, you were looking for something on the rack. And the entire time that you were looking for something, there was a dude in the store that was staring at you. And like I saw him staring, and there was no fucking chill there. Like it was uncomfortable staring. And he started to make his way to you. So I got closer and then he stopped. And like there was just weird interactions in the store. We paid for our shit. And when we walked out of the store, he was next to my vehicle by the gas pump. His vehicle was on the opposite side. He was throwing something away, but he was just standing there. He wasn't moving. He wasn't actually throwing things in the trash. And he was fucking eyeballing you. And you were on my left side. And you were completely oblivious to it. And I was like, get on the right side of me. And you did. There was no why. There was no argument. You moved to the right side of me. And when you moved to the opposite side and I was between the two of you, he realized what was happening and went back to his vehicle. There was a oh fuck moment for me in that situation because I really thought I was going to have to hurt that dude.
Yeah.
And again, that story was more for Discord because I said that I would bring it up because there is a moment when
It was also nighttime.
it was.
It was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
And it was before the time change. You need to, if you have a man that you have in your life that is a protector, or if you have a person who is the protector in the relationship, and they tell you to do something and you do it, that act of submission is going to keep you safe. Had you argued with me and been like, I'm not fucking moving to the other side of you, why would I do that? And like made a big deal out of it, I would have then had to pay attention to what you're doing and worry about you being combative with me while still trying to figure out what this fucking guy is doing over here. I don't know how many people was with him. I don't know if he was armed. I don't know what his intentions were. Like, I am hyper aware of what's going on right here. I need you to fucking obey me and get to the other side of my body so that I can keep you safe. And like, we got in the car and I was like, did you notice that? And you were like, no, you just told me to move. So I did. And I was like, and I thanked you. I was like, I really fucking appreciate you listening to me in the moment because this could have been a very bad situation for us.
And he wasn't by himself. There were like 3 or 4 other guys.
Right. So, we had a conversation in Discord where we were talking about protectors and how all of the women, almost all of them in Discord was like, if my husband told me to move in public, I wouldn't argue with him. I would just do it. And I was like, you guys don't understand how easy it is for us to keep you safe when you don't get combative in those situations. And I was like, I'll tell that story the next time we do a live. So there's the story of that. Knowing that if I am not comfortable in a situation, you can feel that coming off of me and you don't make unnecessary conflict makes me keeping you safe a lot fucking easier. Bucky's was a prime example of that. I was like, give me your hand. And I tucked it behind my belt buckle. And as an adult woman, you walked behind me with your hand next to my pew-pew in my belt all the way through Bucky's. On Thanksgiving Day, at one of the few gas stations that were open, there had to have been 300 fucking people in that building. It was packed.
It was.
If we're walking and you're holding onto my belt, it's no different than tugging on a dog's collar.
Right.
If I would have felt a jerk, I would have turned around. I'd have known something was going on. I can feel it on my waist. I know that you're attached to me. I know that you're safe because I'm going to plow through people. I will move motherfuckers. I'm not scared of that. There's a comfort in that for me. And knowing that you are not uncomfortable being submissive in those situations makes my job as a protector a lot fucking easier. So
You make it so easy for me too. Like, I don't have to be so alert.
you shouldn't have to be.
Right.
You should be alert.
Right. I am. Like, I am taking assessments, but I'm not to the extreme that you are. I can't process that much in a short span of time of knowing where the exits are and who's doing what, and that guy's a fucking threat, and I don't know what's going on behind me. That's too much for me. So knowing that I can just focus on my immediate surroundings and you have everything else figured out makes my life easy.
Yeah. Makes me feel like I'm doing my job as your husband.
Oh, yeah, you're nailing it.
Theory Man Dan sent another $5 and corrected me.
Oh.
And he said, no, I meant Peaches to say McFlurry's name. Full name, LOL. LOL. LOL.
I'm pretty sure it's McFlurry's Big Tits. I'm almost certain.
That's
and
funny.
I got a good chuckle out of that.
Yep. Yep, that's funny. All right, we got another one from Andrea. Thank you is all I can say. My relationship is getting better every day thanks to the small changes that I have learned from you. Amazing humans, much love.
I love that.
When you guys send these super chats, it makes me feel really good. But give us an example of what one of those small changes are.
Right, like you guys have been arguing for the last year over who's doing the dishes.
Right. And I implemented this one change, and it's changed everything. We got an email today. That was a thank you email that said that I took my husband's boots off yesterday after work for the first time ever, and he made it very uncomfortable. Like, he seemed very uncomfortable, but you could see the stress come off of his face when I got his boots off and we talked about his day. And I know that people have issues with feet. I understand that feet stink. I know that, like,
Some dudes have super dirty work boots.
feet are gross,
Whatever.
right? But it's the act of service. It is the servitude. You are being a servant to your man in that moment. You are acting as his therapist. You are listening to the weight of the world. You are taking his boots off, relieving his feet. Like, there is a lot to that. It's not just about you taking off the boots.
I wouldn't say that's you being his therapist. You're being his wife.
Right. You're being the crutch. He's
Right.
able to come home and unload the weight of the world on his support system. Like, there's a lot to the act.
Right.
She then messaged me today, or she's in the email. She said today when he came home, he kicked his boots off before I had a chance to do that. And I said, that is no longer your job. It's mine. And I was like, oh, damn, where's this fucking email going? Like, that's a pretty profound statement to say, or like bold statement to say to somebody. She then said that she massaged his feet and put lotion on his ankles and calves and rubbed his calves. And they talked about his day because he got his boots off beforehand. She said, these 2 days, my husband is a completely different individual from those 2 acts of service.
2 days.
2 days. And you know, somebody has said, well, what's the equivalent if it's your woman and she's the worker and you're a stay at home? Or if you're a lesbian, like, what would you do? And I was like, you rub the feet.
You do the same thing.
The first time you took a bath in that big ass bathtub and I jumped in the bath with you and I grabbed your foot, massaged your foot, you're like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, I was
You melted.
completely taken aback.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
there.
And you don't do feet.
I don't. Feet are fucking gross.
And you hold my feet.
But I also have you get pedicures so that you can
Yeah, they're nice and pretty.
you
for
can put them wherever you want. I don't care because they're clean and done up and like
Right.
you don't have 7-Eleven feet. Lorraine said, we want an AJ reveal. To Be Better Nation. I showed him on TikTok live a minute ago, but there's no way for me to grab the camera and rotate it.
While you're doing
I
that.
really can't rotate the cameras.
No.
I'm sorry.
So I've had a lot of people in the comments of the TikTok where I'm reading an email of a woman saying that I took it upon myself to take my man's boots off, and we had a whole moment and like I cried because I'm your piece and I do my thing. And there were people in the comments going, I can't believe that you're forcing on women they need to take their man's boots off.
How are we forcing anything?
And I was like, we don't force anything. If a woman watches our TikTok and sees our interaction and wants to try it in their own relationship, that's on them. You can do a variation of this. You can serve him his plate.
Oh, I love that.
You can put his clothes out on the bed while he's in the shower. Put out his favorite sweatpants.
There's the serving the plate thing is a big deal for me, not just because I'm Southern, but like it really makes me feel like the head of the house, right? Like I can't expect you to make the meal if I don't provide the food.
Right.
Right. So like there's a whole circle of things that's happening there for me. And that means I'm actually going to say that means more to me than the taking off the boots.
Yeah.
Because it shows that we are a family unit, because it is me making the money, getting the food, bringing it, you making it, bringing it to the table, us eating as a family, having a conversation with the kids.
We're eating because of you.
Yeah. It's a very good feeling for me.
Yeah.
All of everything that you just said though also falls back into if you can do something simple to make your fucking home life better, why wouldn't you at
not?
least try it? Seriously, like what's the worst that's gonna happen? You smell stinky feet, or he's gonna be like, I'm a grown man, I don't need to take my fucking shoes off. Because we hear that.
Oh my God, yeah, we hear that.
Cool.
As a man, this would make me uncomfortable. Okay, neat. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
Right. And it might make you that might happen and you might be like, I don't like that. Don't ever do that again. But what's the problem in trying? The worst that's gonna happen is she's gonna smell your foot odor. Or you're gonna feel emasculated because she took your boots off. You may like it. You may like the intimacy of having her down there, taking your boots off and making that eye contact and talking about your day. And having that moment of knowing that you have fucking a crutch in this world and you're not doing it all by yourself. You may have a moment of realization where you're like, this is why I'm fucking working so hard.
Mm-hmm. The first time that I ever took your boots off for you, it was at my apartment. And you came over after work and you're sitting on the couch. And I kneeled in front of you and I took off the first boot and I looked up at you. And I have never seen such like a masculine, manly man before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that image, specifically with me taking your boots off and looking at you, that is a very feminine moment for me.
So 2 things happened that night. You got on your knees and I thought I was going to get head. And then you took my boots off and it was even more like
Short circuiting.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to get kicked off YouTube for that statement. I probably shouldn't have said that on YouTube. We got another chat saying, AJ reveal, please. And thank you. He baited me to send this with hints at the potential of success.
They kept saying it. I said, what's it worth? And they started donating. I didn't give a price.
Oh, it continues. AJ reveal. I know Peach's airing is adorable, but can Chris have a moment and say doinking and pew pew for us, but slow and start staring at Peaches?
What
Wait,
the fuck?
what? I know Peach's airing is adorable.
Airing?
But airing, like you
airing.
glitching.
My 404 fucking.
But can Chris have a moment and say doinking and pew pew for us, but slow and staring at Peaches? LOL. I don't think that's going to do it for you. I could like hit the low voice and try that. I don't think it's
Say kumquat.
doinking. Did it do anything for you?
There were little chills. I think it's the word because I find that word so comical.
Right.
It just
Well, you said kumquat, so kumquat. Pew pew.
no. Oh fuck! You said cum. Yeah. That did it.
You guys are filthy.
I have
The fuck,
a
man?
suggestion card for playtime later.
Alicia said, thank you for talking about being able to submit. It's been a struggle due to my past trauma, but so valuable in my relationship. I need to let him lead. Abigail said, I sent an email a while ago, but I wanted to let you know how much you have helped me and my husband and saved us from divorce. Abigail, can you send that email again, please? Title it, You Saved Us from Divorce, from live chat, so that I can read the email and give us an update, because now I am interested, and you gave me a live chat and I feel obligated to read your email.
I'm gonna be honest. I just phased back in, and I heard you say you feel obligated to read an email.
Do you want me to read that again?
No.
Okay.
I'm just going through it right now.
Holy fuck, dude.
What?
Danielle, $9.99. This makes 1,507 squats. Send flowers to the closest ER.
I'm sorry. $9.99, like $100.
She sent $9. Yeah,
Okay.
$10. But she has 1,507 squats to do.
I mean, when you dedicate yourself to something, you need to look long term, and long term, this is going to be very rough for you.
Yeah. Well, you'll have amazing quads. You
Yeah.
can change your name in Discord to Quadzilla.
She then updated it to 1512 because of her own donation.
Yeah. Now it's 1,512 because of her own donation. Abigail sent another donation, said, I am sorry for the low amount. You
I'm
still sent
sorry.
a donation.
1512.
Yeah, that's her squat count. 1,512.
Shut up.
Yep. We also just got a new Patreon and 2 more shirt orders.
Oh my god, I can't breathe.
Where are we at on the live right now? Do you have your questionnaire list with you? Your interview?
Oh, the interview questions? Yeah, I got them.
Okay. So they want an AJ reveal. For those people who are still watching, you want to do an interview? Not right this second, but before we shut down tonight? Okay. So there you go. You guys will get an AJ reveal.
An interview?
He's got a whole list of shit he wants to ask me. And I told him I'd be willing to answer some of it. And if I'm not comfortable answering, I'll just tell him I'm not willing to answer it. But
Okay.
it'll get him on the camera because that's what they want. And I can answer
Okay.
his list of questions. I'm not ready to do it yet, though.
Yeah. I'll take that to remove myself and go in the living room and watch Orange is the New Black.
No, you won't.
Why?
Because you have to go over there. You can't leave the room.
I'm not doing anything chat-wise. There's too much to catch up on, and I'm so
you can
flustered.
just jump over there and talk shit on the chat. Yeah, I don't want you to leave the room. I like it when you're with me.
Okay.
Don't abandon me.
Okay.
Wow. You were just quick to go watch your show without me.
I'm tired. This takes a lot out of me. And plus, you're going to be doing a thing where you're engaged. I'm just going to be sitting back here
Right,
probably
but
looking at my phone.
What if he said something that was profound, or I said something that you didn't know and you missed it because you were watching TV?
Okay.
What was the talk tonight? Quality time?
Right. Okay.
Am I guilt tripping you into just don't leave?
Guilt tripping, no. Me realizing that was kind of shitty of me, yes.
Yeah, I don't, this is our thing. And I would be amiss if you went into the other room.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you, what do you have on your request card for later tonight?
My request card?
Yeah, that's what she said. You're like, I have a request card
I
for
can't
later.
say that in front of 500 people on YouTube.
I mean, you could.
I
It
couldn't.
would probably just get
You
kicked
can't
off of
bleep
YouTube.
it, and we're probably going to get a massive violation and demonetized.
Yeah, well, then don't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one on this. I just don't know which button it is. It's all right. You guys, she posted a TikTok today where she told a nasty pickup line.
I did. Oh my God. Everybody's asking, and I'm not going to tell you for 3 days. I want you to figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, tough shit. You'll find out in 3 days.
There was, in one of the videos we had, I was trying to find the word. I was trying to remember a word while we were talking. And I was like, and I said light bulb because I couldn't think of what it was. And I spent like 15 minutes today trying to find a good dial-up sound. And I dialed up sound over top of the long pause where I'm sitting there staring, trying to figure out what the fuck I was going to say. And I put it on and I played it back and I was like, I'm willing to bet at least half of the people who watch us won't know what that is. So I just deleted the fucking sound and wasted like a
What?
half hour trying to get that right.
I would have loved that.
Yep. Wolfsbane's Workshop sent another chat and said, member of the Discord Ronin 13, keep rocking, y'all are BAMFs. So
What is
badass motherfuckers. BAMFs. Now I know who that is because I talked to Ronin in Discord. The Danny 2800 said, you guys are amazing. You have helped me realize what went wrong in my marriage, and you have helped me realize my part. I've also been able to take responsibility for my part in it. Thank you. I really am on board for the maybe you're the problem t-shirts. I just have to
I
figure out
wanted
how
to say,
design
have
it.
you considered you're the problem?
Yeah. Sheldon sent a super chat, although it's not loading. Oh, there it goes. If AJ is in Peach's seat, he has to throw on her cardigan. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I have a weird thing about people touching my things.
Yeah, not going to happen.
When I shake hands with people, I use hand sanitizer immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
No?
No, I very rarely use hand sanitizer. So when you put hand sanitizer or antibacterial or antimicrobial soap on your hands, you're killing good bacteria.
Right.
And you are more likely to become susceptible to infections from that shit. And because of my time in the tattoo industry, I wash my hands as little as possible. Because I fucking, had to wash my hands and hand sanitize constantly while I was in the industry. I also, the only time I ever feel weird about a handshake thing is when they give me a limp dick handshake. Somebody gives me a handshake and it's like loose, and it feels like I'm shaking my hand with a spaghetti pot with noodles in it. Like I have a problem with that. Or if a man gives me like this.
Oh, yeah, the little lady handshake.
Yeah. It's very hard for me to be like, oh, you want me to treat you like a bitch?
Yeah.
You shake my hand like a bitch, I'm going to treat you like one. Yeah, it gets real aggressive real fast in my mind.
I can tell, yeah.
I don't like that. I've like been in scenarios where I have met people that I have looked up to or people that have been like higher status in life, and we went to shake hands and missed. I'm like, wait a minute, we have to redo that because I wasn't looking in the right area and that handshake didn't feel right to me. And they were like, what, seriously? I'm like, yeah, we're not going to start this conversation off with a weird fucking handshake. And they're like, okay.
We
and then we
can't
shake
have that
hands again.
energy.
And like at that point, there's a weird ice breaking moment there that they know that like I'm just not fucking okay. And they accept it and they shake my hand a second time and it's a good handshake. And I'm like, I feel better now. Thank you. And I am weird about handshakes.
But why would that make me feel better about myself? Because if there's a limp dick handshake, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, so the whole energy's off now. Like, you've shown me who you are. So, like, if you were like, okay, we need to fix that, I'll be like, oh my God, thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page.
It's different when you're shaking a woman's hand, though.
Why?
Because I would never give a firm handshake to a woman unless she grabbed me like she was a fucking lumberjack, and then I would give a firm handshake.
I can't remember where we were, but I shook somebody's hand, and like I saw the shock on his face when I actually did the handshake versus just like hello.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
I treat you like a lady. I would do the finger grab.
As I expect you.
I'd kiss the back of your hand. All right, there's still chats. I'm so glad that I came across your TikTok and started listening to your podcast via Amazon streaming, and have helped me better my communication skills and interactions. Thank you so much. That's the name of the game, bro. That is the fucking name of the game. Personal development. That's what we're doing.
100%.
Theoryman Dan with a $50 chat. You want an example of change? The past 3 days have been exhausting for me and McFlurry because the Munchkin being in and out of the hospital, we argued and snapped and then talked and understood. It's y'all that gave us those tools, and it's amazing. Being able to apologize in the moment for you overstepping and being rude
It's a game changer.
It will ultimately change the way that you fucking communicate with somebody. Abigail said, email resent. I'm a Patreon member, so that was the OG title. Okay, well, now that I know that you're a Patreon member, it should have went to the Patreon folder, which we are trying to get caught up on. How do you heal your tattoos? Getting one soon. Bleach and a Brillo pad. No, I'm kidding. I use Aquaphor, unless it's in an area that's got clothing over it. If I have to get like my back or my stomach tattooed, I use lotion. Because the idea of having ointment on my skin and my clothing sticking to it sends me into a full-blown fucking panic attack. So you will heal faster with Aquaphor or like Aquatat or something like that. Or lotion. If you use lotion, it should be like a Vino or something. However, if you're going to get a tattoo, listen to the aftercare that your tattoo artist gives you, because if you don't follow the aftercare, they will not touch your shit up for free. So most artists will honor their work. If you go get a tattoo and they say use Aveeno and you go and say I use Lubriderm, they're like, that's not what I told you to use. I'm not going to touch your tattoo up for free. Like some artists can be dicks. So just do whatever they tell you to do, and if it needs a touch up, they'll honor it.
I wouldn't say that's being a dick. If you don't follow my aftercare instructions and something goes wrong, that's not on me.
Right. Well, I mean, the reality is that I know people who can dry heal their tattoos.
Right.
It's a shitty heal.
Yeah.
But it looks fine when it's done. But I've also seen people go mudding after getting a tattoo and get a really bad infection and shit. Like people are fucking dumb. Kaylee Espino said, I had sent an email a while back, but since then my hubby did watch the check-ins and our communication is a lot better. Working on myself a lot too. Love that. Don't know if I read your email or not, but I'm glad that you're making progress. Hannah Greer, I have joined the Discord, Hannah21. Recently, I have shared your videos with my boyfriend. I sent an email that goes further, and we have implemented a lot that we have learned from your videos. It keeps making our relationship stronger. Thank you. Keep it up. Did you send the email before or after you were in Patreon?
That matters.
It does matter because our email, guys, I swear to you, our email folder is fucking crammed.
It doesn't stop.
We have probably 30 folders in there. And now we're getting to the point where we're cherry picking emails. So like we may not read emails that are in the main folder for months, but Patreon is a much shorter email. So if you sent an email and you're in Patreon, you need to send a follow-up and let us know so that we can put you in queue for Patreon because we do read those emails faster than the regular emails. I don't really have much else.
Okay. Well, to put into perspective of how we do the emails, we receive, like you said, roughly 300 a day.
That's insane.
Out of that 300, I would say maybe 10 to 20 of them are Patreon.
Yeah.
So you are definitely getting...
Are we getting that many now from Patreon?
Roughly.
Wow.
Could be less, maybe 10 to 15. I'm definitely seeing a lot of them.
Right. You do the email thing. I don't. I just star everything so that you know it needs attention, and then you and Jennifer do it, and then you cherry pick. So that's a lot, though, when you think about it.
But Patreon does definitely go faster.
Mm-hmm. And how many out of those 300 emails do you think are just thank yous? Because I see a lot of thank you emails.
Oh my gosh. If we get 10 emails in an hour, I would say 4 to 5 of them are thank yous.
That's crazy. So 40 to 50%.
Yeah.
We are really affecting change. When you look at that number, like it's a lot.
There are some days where all we receive are thank yous, and then there's 1 or 2 of I need help.
I've noticed that the emails that I've been reading that come through, like when I just like skim them for whatever I'm doing, I'm enjoying. I do talk shit about the shorter emails. Like I always crack jokes to you, but I'm finding myself able to have conversation with you a lot more in depth with the what if scenarios about what's going on without a ton of detail. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot harder to do it for the podcast because we always have, well, if this is happening, then this is a problem. And it makes the email a lot longer of a process to read. Mm-hmm. But on a personal enjoyment, I am enjoying the shorter emails.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot harder for us to do our job in here. But when we're on the couch and we're just reading emails and going through shit, they're a lot more enjoyable because it gives us a lot of what if scenarios that we can talk about, and we're not on a time frame, and we're not, it's just us fucking around. Mm-hmm. I would also like to hit the quality time thing and reiterate the fact that I really do view this as quality time for us.
Me too.
I have an iPad in my lap right now, but normally I don't have a device. Like I'm not fucking doing anything other than listening to you read emails and then us having conversations, and I don't feel the pull of the world. I do notice that I'm getting messages on my watch, and like I'll address the Patreon emails, and like every once in a while I will get a phone call and we'll have to stop what we're doing, but it does feel more interrupted while we're recording than any other time of the day.
Yeah.
So how many we got watching still? Still in the 5s? 450s. All right. So we're dumping down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's you and I call it. Let me do a quick little interview with him. I don't even know how many of those questions I'm going to answer, and then we can call it.
Say, with the dipping in the time, you want to do it as a Zoom? We do
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Because I got to be honest, I'm tired at this point. Like,
I
it's
can stick my face in the camera to make everybody happy.
okay. Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is walk over.
Cool.
You guys all done?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
done. We're going to call it, but AJ's going to stick his face in the camera first.
That was AJ.
Yep, the man behind the curtain. You guys can refer to him as Mr. Wizard. He is the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, damn. That was good.
You guys. I don't think you guys understand how much he does. We I don't know if we're gonna get more chats. I just closed my iPad, so.
Yeah, not supers in right now, but they're just talking about. There we go. Zeke said you should have a third channel of just emails that are duds, where you guys have nothing else to say and just deadpan stare into the camera.
So just real quick, I guess because he's here. So we realize this is a growing pain, right? Everything that we're doing is a new opportunity, and like we want to do the reaction channel, which I'm gonna plug real quick. If you're not following that channel, we need to get to 1,000 subscribers on the To Be Better Reacts channel and 4,000 hours of watch time. When we get to the point where we can monetize on the Reacts channel, we'll be doing content for that channel that's going to be exclusive stupidity that we get to enjoy. So it'll be reaction videos, unboxings, whatever, just things that are not email related.
Skincare routines.
Right. Just anything. Like I would even be willing to do Q&A submitted by Discord on that channel. Just something other than this. I'm enjoying the love languages because it's a break from the emails.
It is.
But with everything that we've got going on, every time we make a new show or a new anything, AJ has to do an intro. He has to help screen, clip, edit, all of that shit. There's a lot of things that's going on behind closed doors that you guys don't ever see that he has to deal with, on top of him dealing with me every day when I have an idea. And it's a lot because my brain doesn't ever shut off. So for all of you who are in Discord or I'm sorry, in the YouTube super chat, AJ should get a thank you. Just hit him with a thank you, AJ, because
Theory Man Dan, Shadow Money Wizard Gang, we love casting spells, $5. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. You want to send that to me so I can see what it says? Because that was...
Yeah, I don't know if he's throwing up like gang signs.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, dude. That was a lot. And then I'm done after that.
Hit with a guidelines violation for saying whatever it was.
This will be the last one, and then we're done, guys. Shadow Money Wizard Gang. We love casting spells. Theory Man Dan. Do you have any idea what that means?
No clue.
I don't either. But I'm a puppet because he just paid me to say it, and I did. So I'm glad he didn't ask me to throw up a gang sign. With that being said, everybody look at Peaches. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch.
Yeah, that was nice. I'm ready for cuddles.
You can get a lot more than that. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
You want to end that?